Good morning, welcome to Sewing Street. How are you all? My name's Vicki Carroll, lovely to see everybody this morning. We've got a jam-packed morning, Hannah's back. She wasn't very well, you still haven't told me were you all right yesterday? Oh, not too well yesterday, but she's all right today. I don't need to go into it. Anyway, she's all right today, she's back with us and she's having a croissant, aren't you? But all these croissants out of vending machine in a packet, how is it? Not great. Not great, not good. We've got a great show for you today, though. I mean, it is absolutely jam-packed. And if I'm honest, we've got a bit of a schedule, which I'll show you in a second. But we're not really sticking to it. We're sort of just jumping all over the place. So let's have a look at what's coming up today. So this first hour, we are going to be looking at lots of books, getting us lots of great inspiration. Maybe if you've been doing lots of sewing over the last few months, you've got a bit of writer's block or sewer's block where you're struggling to get some inspiration. So we're going to fill you with inspiration this first hour with lots of great books and fabrics. 9 o'clock, again, more fabulous fabrics. We've got May Morris coming up, the last of stock. We've got some Tilda, we've got fat quarters, but we've also got lots of other bits and bobs which we're going to be throwing into that show as well. At 10 o'clock, if you loved yesterday's show, we're going to get everybody in the mood for the 11 o'clock demo with dressmaking tools at 10. Some really, really cool items in the hour. When are we doing the electric scissors? Will that be coming up in the 10 o'clock? I've just been having, 10 o'clock, I've just been having so much fun with those. They're brilliant. No wonder they're Neil's picks. They feel like a boy's toy. They're very good at 10 o'clock. And 11 o'clock, our gorgeous Jenny McCreary has sent us a lovely demonstration all the way from Glasgow with a kimono top, which I've already seen lots of lovely comments on Facebook. So have a look on our Sewing Street Facebook page if you want to have a quick glimpse at that. The reason there's a slight change of time is because they're still in the post. We're hoping that they arrive at about 9 o'clock today. So we've just put it to the end of the show at 11 o'clock today. So stay with us. It's going to be brilliant. Now, we want your input. Please do get in touch with us today. We want to make it as interactive as possible. You can do it via our email address, studio@sewingstreet.com, studio@sewingstreet.com. Have you started to use your May Morris fabric yet? Have you started to use it? If you have, we want to hear from you. What have you started to do with your May Morris? You know how much Hannah and I are so passionate about this collection. I absolutely love it. When are we going to the Winterbourne House and the V&A Museum? And we have so many plans that we've been sort of making over lockdown. As soon as they're open and we're allowed out again, then we'll be there first. Oh, okay, yeah, so Kat gets to go to LA with Hannah, but I'm very excited for our trips too. I can't wait, the V&A Museum to see May Morris. Well, not May Morris, but to see the collection. But I do want to show you, coming up, when are we going to do this then, Hannah? The end of this hour. The end of this hour, we're going to bring you the last of the May Morris collection. And I must say, this print is one of the most iconic as well. So there's less than 10 metres of each of the fabrics. It's really last of stock. We had to give you a heads up about that one. It's coming up towards the end of this hour. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, the book is back in stock that we've got exclusivity of, by the way, the Thread Doodle book. I will update you on that. We've also got a new bundle on the 550, which we're going to be talking about in a bit. But first of all, of course, let's do the early bird. Those of you that have got up with us nice and early, we're about to spoil your rotten. Are you ready? So whether you're a brand new sewer, if you found us for the first time, or whether you are a seasoned pro and you just want to stock up on all of this haberdashery, we're going to do you a very, very special early bird price. Are you ready? So for the first item of the day, it's always a discounted price, saving £3 today at just $16.99. Now, I got told off the last time I did this because I thought, right, if I just spend a minute talking about each of the items in here, I would be going on for hours. Hannah was like, you can't talk about everything in here today because you've actually got how many items? 160 something items, 167 items in here, including Velcro, cashmere yarn, polyester yarn, scissors, tape measure, tape fasteners, sewing needles, 80 straight pins, a thimble, assorted safety pins. I mean, look, you get so much. Let's open it up because you also get this lovely storage box. Have I got it upside down? You know I'm going to tip it all over the place. So, oh gosh, I remember this very secure box. How could I have forgotten? Oh, I feel like this, I'm getting deja vu. Did this happen before? Oh, I'm trying to open it from the back, aren't I? There we go. And it's one of those, you know those really posh boxes of chocolates where you eat the top layer and then you're like, oh my word, there is a second layer of chocolates, and it gets very exciting. That's how I feel about this box of haberdashery bits and bobs. So you've got, but without the calories, Maybe it is a gift for somebody's birthday. Look, I mean, you've got your elastic, you've got your monofilament, you've got your bobbins, you've got your tape measure, you've got your quick and pick, you've got so much, well, they're all very useful sort of things, aren't they? You've got a little box with your pins in. You've got your machine sewing needles. You've also got some snaps. You've got a needle threader, hand sewing needles, a thimble, safety pins, all of your yarn, your Velcro, your scissors. And then you can use the box afterwards, can't you? I mean, you could take it all out and fill it with something, what else, you know, the bits that you're using as you're going. You've got a little marking tool as well with a brush and almost like a hair marker on there. £16.99, whichever way you break that down, that's amazing. Let's break it down, in fact. 167 items. Now, it says on here that it's a starter sewing kit. It says on the actual box, professional sewing kit. So you've got everything that you sort of need to get started with bits and bobs, but also things that are very useful for professional sewers. You're working out at about 10 pence a thing, 10 pence an item, 10 pence an item, 16.99. Sorry. It's not a thing, it's a professional item. Your different size safety pins, you've got some little mini ones on there as well. How great is that for £16.99? I was actually chatting to my friend yesterday who, her daughter, Amelie, are you watching? She did say that she'd get up nice and early to put me on this morning. If Amelie's watching, Amelie started doing some sewing classes during lockdown. She's got a little sewing machine and she's doing some virtual classes and she's made the most amazing tote bag. Amelie, how old are you? She's either 7 or 8 or 9. She's going into year 5. How old does that make her if she's going into year 5? 9? She about 9. She's amazing. She's made a tote bag, she's made a cushion, but this would be ideal for, I think, somebody who's maybe someone starting out sewing, younger generation. This is amazing to get going, isn't it? Having all the choice of the different colour threads and bobbins and bits and bobs, the monofilament, the elastic, loads in there to get going with. £16.99. And how much does it cost for a storage box? Did you include that in your 16 pence a thing? No? You get storage boxes. Surely, even if you go anywhere, you can pay, what, £5, £10 for a storage box like this? It's a really sturdy one as well. Saving of £3 a day. Now, just to remind you, it's only while stocks last, for today and today only. £16.99. All of these bits and bobs for just $16.99. Now, for everybody who's opened their order, stay with us because we've got so much coming up today and you'll only pay 1p&p all day long now. And that includes our web shop. So I will always say this to you. If you've bought anything on any day, before you sort of leave us, definitely go onto the web shop or come back later onto the web shop tonight and just have a bit of a scour through, because remember, we've got things like all of your plain fabrics. So even if you want to get a couple of meters of your ivory, a couple of meters of white, if you want to get any other sewing machine needles for your machine just to keep them stocked up, any other bits and bobs, whilst you've paid the £3.95 post and packaging, may as well stock up on all of those little bits and bobs that you need for your stash every day. It's definitely worth going to the web shop. So I'm going to leave you with the early birds, as we've got loads to do this hour, but just a reminder, can we just show Kat the website, please? So if you go to www.sewingstreet.com, then you can actually scroll through the categories, you can look through all of the product that we've got today on the show, you can scroll through and have a look at all of the bits and bobs that we have on the categories. So it will redirect you to Drawing Maker website, don't worry. You scroll past the Watch Live page, you can click play and watch us live on there. You can also sign up to our mailing list for all of the latest news and offers. Scroll down, we've got the machine offers there, amazing machines, some that are exclusive to us here in the UK, the 680 being one, the 780 being another. We've got overlockers on here, embroidery machines, and then you'll get to today's product. So there you can see the early bird and get started checking out on all of the books and fabrics that we've got in this first hour. Everything is listed underneath us, plus the categories section as well. Thank you, Kat. Okay, just to remind you at the end of the hour as well, we've also got our gorgeous May Morris. We've got less than 10 metres of each of these prints, and this is it. This is the very last chance, I believe, that you're going to get on the May Morris. We're not going to be able to get it back, so please do make the most of this, coming up at the end of the hour. Okay, where should we go next, Hannah? Oh, right, okay. I can't not talk about this, in fact, because whenever we do bundles like this, I'm calling out to anybody who is maybe umming and ahhing about it and thinking, right, do I, don't I, do I, don't I, do I dip my toe in and do I do it now? If you were going to invest in a new sewing machine, if you were maybe at a point of starting your sewing journey, but you don't want to just, I mean, don't get me wrong, yes, I know that you can go and buy a machine with a budget of £100 that might have 5 to 6 stitches, might bounce along the table when you're sewing, or might not bring you the results that you want to see. I don't want you to get put off sewing by having a poor machine that lets you down. So when we're bringing you, I don't by any means want to call this an entry-level machine, because it's an Elna. When you're talking about the Elna brand, when you've got that stamp of approval, it is a fantastic, fantastic company that are renowned for their quality. So I by no means want to say that this is an entry-level machine, because it still has a huge array of 50 different stitches on there. It's got all of your quick access buttons, but most of all, it's got the build of Elna, so it's a really gorgeous machine. But what I also love about today is that we've bundled it, so you're going to get some freebies as well. If you would like the Elna 550, we're introducing a brand new bundle today with a price point of less than £500. It is the only sewing machine that we bring you less than £500. The only one that we've got at the moment for £479. And I must say that we're a new show. We've only been going since February, but we've got a team of industry experts that are working, you know, around the clock, working with lots of different brands and lots of different companies, and want to bring you the best. So when we are bringing something on air, we're very, very proud of it. So please know, if you know somebody that maybe is upgrading to that first machine after, what's it called when they've just got the dial on the front? Like a what, sorry? All machines are mechanical, they're just not computerised, do you know what I mean? So this is now that sort of step up to having a computerised machine, that when you select your stitches, it's automatically going to change to the default stitch width and stitch length. You can override it if you want to make your stitches longer or shorter, but the great thing is that you're not having to sort of worry about whether your stitch length, your stitch width's correct, or your tension's right. It sort of does all of that for you, which is brilliant, but it's still really user-friendly. I'm thinking for somebody that may have borrowed somebody's machine during lockdown, have really got the bug of sewing, and now they want a machine. Or I know a lot of people who have bought this as a second machine. So they might have the 680, or they might have a bigger machine or more expensive machine as their main sewing machine, and then they've got a second home, or they've got a caravan, or they've got, they like to do sewing at workshops and take that machine with them. If you want a more portable machine, then this is really sort of lightweight. It's, don't get me wrong, it's not going to bounce around your table. It's still sturdy and robust, but it is really lovely and portable. Now, your freebies, let's talk about it. You also are going to get this, which is a Debbie Shaw, well, sorry, not Debbie Shaw. This is the Debbie Von Croz. Go on, say it again, Hannah. No. I'm just going to call her Debbie Von GC. Sorry, Debbie. Sorry, Debbie. But this is brilliant. I'm thinking for somebody who is stepping up from one of these machines where you've got your little dial at the front to change stitches. If you are moving up to your computerized machine, this is fantastic to learn how to sew in 30 minutes. Getting that included today for free. You've got some really great achievable projects that you can do in an afternoon using your sewing machine, from toys to bags. You've got lovely little quilting projects. You've got little accessories, working with different fabrics and getting to know different fabrics as well with your machine. So that's exciting. You get the book, and then you're also going to get some lovely fat quarters as well, including this Hessian, which you might have seen Debbie Shaw demo with as well. So goodies over £25, super duper popular products. But for me, it's all about whether you were at that point of weren't you about to dip your toe in on the machine. Today's the day to do it. You get some freebies. The bundle, these will come from us, and the machine will come separately from Elna with a 2-year warranty through Elna. So just don't panic when you get these on their own and you're like, where is my sewing machine? It will be on its way from Elna. It's a great machine though, as I say. You've got a great selection of your utility stitches. You've got some satin stitches, you've got buttonholes on here, you've got some lovely quilting stitches, some decorative as well. So still a great selection of stitches on that little flashcard and really easy to navigate around. Okay, we'll talk more about this later because it's a fab machine. It's the only machine deal I think we sort of got at the moment as well, isn't it? Just so you know, oh gosh, by the end of this hour, I don't think I'm going to be able to say that I've got 10 metres of each. There's already a lot of people checking out on these. If you do want to get ahead of the rush, make the most of it. In fact, right, cream, if you want this, we're already down to 2 metres. Check out, if you want 2 metres, grab it now because, yeah, we're not getting it again. And this is the last of the May Morris fabric. Oh, love it, absolutely love it. One of my highlights of our lockdown sort of showcases, actually. I always remember us sitting on a Zoom, on FaceTime, all of us getting really excited doing our research on May Morris, and we loved it. So that's coming up before the end of the hour. Something else I wanted to mention was the extra wide. How on earth have these come into stock without me knowing? I had no idea. And we've got colours that we only launched the other day. We've got some more colours today as well. We've got grey, black. Oh, thanks, Kat. Just so you know, these are on the website, and again, eagle eyes, well done, you've already spotted them, they're checking out already. The grey and the black are brand new colours. I know that we launched these the other day. The grey and the black were brand new just a few days ago. Were the grey and black, are they new today? No. Oh, they were all brand new a few days ago. It's all right. They're absolutely gorgeous though, aren't they? Just so you know, the grey is nearly sold out. It will sell out today. So if you do want any of these, please do start checking out because we aren't going to do them for another 40 minutes or so. So just if you can't wait, check out now. They're extra wide backing fabrics, extra wide. Right, talking about backing fabrics and quilting, let's have a look at one of the most popular books in the existence of Sewing Street. This has been the most popular book. Bearing in mind, we're going to be talking lots about different inspirational books. We've got some gorgeous books coming up. This has been the most popular by an absolute country mile. Thousands of these have sold. This is Debbie Shaw, our gorgeous Debbie, Sewing Room Secrets. It's signed and we launched it. Of course, Debbie's one of our team. She's one of our family. She's, of course, one of our gorgeous presenters here. Yeah, I'm just claiming that now. We're all related to Debbie Shaw now, aren't we? We're family. £9.99. Sorry, Debbie. We've all got to have a few sort of crazes in our family, haven't we? So, £9.99, that's us, Debbie. Right, so let's have a look through and see why it's so popular. I love it because Debbie is renowned for, of course, bringing us great books, mainly bag making books. What I love about this is that she's really breaking down lots of the quilting techniques, which normally sort of bypassed when you're looking at quilting. We never kind of get to those end finishing results. So it's going to be signed by lovely Debbie. Oh my word, she's said that she'd never sign in one sitting so many books. It was absolutely just so lovely of her to do that for everybody. So talk through what is quilting, what is patchwork. It will go through all of Debbie's tips and tricks. So, of course, along the way, she's picked up so many different tips. Things like toe separators, painting your nails. Oh, no. Storing your bobbins. So, sewing machines, what to look for, what to look for in a sewing machine. Exactly, look for a computerised sewing machine. You'll find a range of stitches from utility, decorative, digital interface, makes it easier to select, which is exactly what you've got here, really, £550 under £500. All your machine feet, what they all look like and what you use them for. Talking about machine needles and what sizes to use and when to use them. I love things like this. When things go wrong, this is normally the difficult part to find in a book, isn't it? The troubleshooting section, tools and equipment. What are essentials and what are gadgets? It will go through. She dissects it all, talking about what is important when you're quilting and sewing. Different types of marking tools. Oh, we've got friction pens on today's show as well. I just must mention we've got them coming up in a bit. Quilting templates, different rulers you can use. Talking about fabrics. Now, we often use the word quilting weight fabric. And if you're sort of learning all of this new jargon, if you found us over the last few months and you want to have a bit of more of a breakdown of different weights of fabrics and why you use different fabrics or different sizes, using terms like fat eighths and fat quarters and different terms like that. She actually breaks it down completely in the book, talking about backing fabric and fabric terminology, breaking down wadding. I did say we want to do a whole showcase talking about the different wadding. She does it here in the book. Threads, caring for your quilt, cutting, trimming curves, machine stitching, so different ways of using your decorative stitching and over-edge stitching, blind hem stitching, hand stitching, applique, different ways of doing your quilt sandwich, different ways of basting your quilt, lovely ways of quilting, whether it be straight line quilting, your cross-hatch quilting, whether it be free motion. See what I mean? Like, these are all techniques that they might skim over at the end of your instructions. Talking about binding, look at this really clear photographed binding demo of how to do a mitered corner. Obviously, Debbie's husband is her photographer. So working with him has made it very easy to showcase exactly what Debbie wanted to show. We've done this project on air before, your mini chicken quilt. Again, bias binding, the difference between straight and bias binding. And some really lovely projects, including things like trapunto, Christmas stocking, stitching in the ditch. You've got table runners. Your value for money in this book, I mean, it's pence per project, really, isn't it? And pence per technique. Bargello, how to incorporate Bargello into making an achievable cushion project without getting... I think we all think of quilts. Well, I certainly did. When I first started, I was a bit overwhelmed when I think, right, do I want to start quilting? Because that means that, you know, I've got to be like John Carl Morgan and make a massive 80-inch quilt. And it's not always necessarily the case. You don't need to sort of put yourself off by trying to do the big quilt. By all means, we'd all love to do that and we strive to do it. But don't overwhelm yourself. I love the fact that she really breaks down into smaller, really sort of achievable projects. I like to see results when I'm starting out a new hobby or a new craft. You want to see that you can do it straight away. English paper piecing, talking about a bit of hand sewing, a bit of slow stitching, how to make it into things like placemats, bag making. She dips into all of these different techniques, but very, very thoroughly explains how to create these very professional quilted looks. Love this book. Can you see why it's so popular? All of your templates as well at the back, and they are also given to actual size, so you don't need to worry about upscaling any of your templates. They're all to size. So it's a brilliant book. It's less than a tenner. The knowledge that Debbie's put into there is fantastic. At the beginning of 9 o'clock, again, just to remind you, we're going to be doing the extra wide fabric. So if you are thinking of doing some quilting projects from the book, We're going to be bringing you all of these colourways, which are brand new to me, so they could be brand new to you. Oh, the grey, loads of you checking out, by the way. There's now less than 15 metres. That isn't even scratching the surface of how much fabric you're getting, by the way. It's huge. But that's your extra wide backing fabric. Talk about quilt backing. I know so many of you have already sort of beaten me to the post of thinking, actually, do you know what? I'm going to use it for so much more than just my quilt backing. There's loads that you can do with this. We'll go through it in a bit. Okay, don't forget, go onto the website. They're all there. You don't need to wait. Reserve your place. Get involved. Okay, now, we've already had, again, people checking out on this one as well. As I told you, we're just going to be jumping between quite a bit today. This is the Quotas Bible. Oh, my word. It's a hefty book. It is a hefty book for $15.99. Listen to this. It is a big book. You've got a lot of techniques in here. 220 patchwork quilting and applique techniques. It's written by Lynn Edwards, who is MBE Lynn Edwards, I should say, actually. And she has got so many incredible different techniques in here. Your patchwork techniques broken down at the start here in your content. So you've got scrap quilts, sampler quilts, hand piecing, EPP, machine piecing, piecing, patchwork with squares and rectangles, patchwork with stripes. I don't know why I really struggle to say this. Seminole, that's it, Seminole patchwork, Bargello, string patchwork, patchwork with triangles, patchwork with diamonds and polygons. You've also got patchwork with curves, pictorial patchwork, foundation piecing, crazy patchwork, puffed patchwork, folded patchwork, fabric special effects. You've got quilt art, using sashing, using borders. That's just the patchwork session. You've then got also an applique, a quilting section, finishing as well, and this. That's a little like, is it a hen? Not hen, what's it called? Cockerel. How many pages are in the book, are you asking me, Kat? 255? 256? Oh, gosh, it's gorgeous. So, that's a lovely box, isn't it? That's so pretty. So pretty. Something I never thought of doing, actually. That's really nice. Tools, design tools, marking tools, cutting tools, sewing tools, pressing tools, gizmos and gadgets. I got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got scissors and different fabrics, talking through cotton, silk, satin, shears, metallics, synthetics, craft wool, fabric specialist. I mean, there's so much information on each thing. If you want to talk about, right, why would I use polyester wadding? This is made from synthetic fibres, available in different weights. It will go through all of your different reasons of why you would use different waddings. Using colour, working with fabrics, buying and storing fabric, marking fabrics, reducing, enlarging and reducing templates, cutting different shapes, working with different templates, cutting safety. That's an important one as well. You'd be starting it for the first time, talking about cutting. It's sort of, it's something that we skim over here. Well, not necessarily skim over. I don't want to say that, because we'll always try and show you in as much detail in our demos as much as we possibly can. But simply due to time restrictions, we want to get to sewing, obviously. So quite often the cutting's already sort of pre-done. Whereas here they really thoroughly go through exactly how you do all of your cutting. That's really useful, isn't it? Ah. Right, so that first section is just simply your introduction, and that's a book in itself, really, isn't it? You've then got, let's break this down. I am on, no, sorry, Kat, I don't have the, we don't have the time to go. She's like, no, I don't want you to skip any page, go through it all. That is all of your patchwork. I don't want to give it away, otherwise you won't buy the book. But that's all your patchwork. There's loads in here. You've then also got your applique. This is all of your applique. Why am I not allowed to hear all this, Hannah? This is your applique. You've got shadow applique. Did you see our cushions that we had of shadow applique? It looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Hawaiian applique. Different quilts, technique, reusable web, flower power tote. There's some lovely projects in it. Oh, there it is. Right, what is he? He's a cockerel, isn't he? Where's his beak? There's his feet. Right, everything in the book we really, really like, but we're a bit confused about the cockerel. I think it's just a picture. I don't actually think there's I don't think it's a project. You don't need to worry. This lovely that's my favourite. The mermaids. It's like me, Hannah and Cat, isn't it? It's like me, Hannah and Cat. That's definitely Hannah. Look at the hair. She's the only one who's got a bra on. And she's got her huge hair. Oh, these are lovely. Look at your ice creams. Little techniques like that I'd never thought of doing, using like, it looks like organza. Reverse applique, shadow applique. So that's just all your applique techniques. Then we go on to a whole section of quilting. This is all quilting. So this is, again, section all on preparing your quilt, the techniques, different ways of quilting, borders, marking designs, hand quilting, using a frame, different stitches quilting to use when you're hand quilting, Celtic quilting, sashko, we're going to talk about sashko in a minute, sashko placemats, machine quilting. How good is this? How thorough is this? Hang on, what's corded quilting? Ah, is that a bit like Celtic sort of quilt? It looks like Celtic quilting, doesn't it? Similar. Long arm quilting. Did you get the long arm quilting machine? I know there were a few people who managed to get that. I wish. Decorative quilting. Look at this. Couching by hand. And then finishing as well your quilts. How to bind them with mitered corners. How to do prairie points. How to do a scalloped edge on a quilt. Just lovely different ways of doing it. Gathered edges. Final touches, how to do a hanging sleeve. I mean, how thorough is that? I could go on and on and on and on and on. $15.99. It's a hefty book for $15.99. Woo! It is fantastic. We love that one. So that's 220 different techniques for $15.99. Should we do something completely different? This is exclusive to us. How cool is this? Right. I like my bookshelf, by the way. We're getting we're getting lots of inspiration, aren't we, in there with lots of different books. This is new to me, and it's amazing. It's sold out in the first showing. It's back in stock, as we have exclusivity at the moment. If you want it, check out now, because there are so many people that I know missed out on this last time. It's $9.99. It's called Thread Doodling, and it's got 20 different gorgeous models and designs for stitching. In the moment, I just really like the idea, especially right now. Well, we've all had, like, you know, quite a bit of time to kill, to be honest, haven't we? We've had lots of time to kill. So it's nice to start a bit of hand sewing. I think a lot of people have got quite addicted to it over the last few months. But these are beautiful. Try out some of your new threads from your early bird. Try out some of your lovely threads that you've got, maybe some variegated ones. These are all of your different projects. I think they make such beautiful wall art. If you get yourself a hoop just like this, just get yourself an embroidery hoop, and whether you choose to frame it or whether you choose to just keep it in the hoop, they look so beautiful as wall art. It does then give you different ideas of how to incorporate it into projects as well, such as a lampshade, a tea towel, a pillow cover, even onto a skirt or different pouches. They're lovely, aren't they? Goes through your different materials and equipment, what you're going to need. And the great thing about embroidery is actually, do you know what? It doesn't require that many different things to get started. So whether you've got your fabrics, your threads, your needles, a hoop, pair of scissors, and a canvas, that's it really, isn't it? Doesn't require lots of fancy tools. It's great to just get started. So it goes through all of your different stitches in your dictionary, your stitch dictionary. Really clear diagrams as well of how to do it. It will also go through how to prepare your hoop before you get onto the actual projects. They're beautiful, aren't they? How to do this ombre design, your kaleidoscope pool, your stitch allotment. Oh, I love it. I just love the different colours as well. They talk to you about using with DMC colours. Don't get me wrong, you can use whatever colours you want. But if you do want to create this really vibrant look and you work with DMC skeins, it also tells you what threads they've used. I think they just add such texture. I'll always remember some of the first times I experienced a hand embroidery like this. It does just add beautiful texture. It makes you want to dive in and touch it, doesn't it? Look. Lovely little gifts. How about that as a new home gift? The rainbow especially, it's so beautiful. It's quite apt, isn't it, at the moment? If somebody has been moving house or wanting to move house and hasn't been able to until quite recently, this is a lovely gift idea for a new home. Gardening, hexes. That's your favourite, isn't it, Kat? How lovely is that with the hexes? And it will go through, look, so you've got your running stitch, your star stitch, you've got your lazy daisy, and it will go through, colour coordinate, tell you really clearly how to create this really cool look. The maze is nice as well. I like the one, the hundreds and thousands. Compass rose. It's very clear, isn't it, as well? To the point, to the point. These are the ones that that Kat likes as well. It's like a roadmap, isn't it? There's your roundabout. You can personalise it, I suppose, as you wish, can't you? Oh, they're really nice. That one's my favourite. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Sunshine Valley. Imaginary Atlas. Galaxy River. That's cool, isn't it? They're all so beautiful. Garden sampler. Transferring your design. So all these at the back, they're actually iron-on transfers. So by all means, you could trace them if you've got a light box or, you know, up against a window, however you want to trace them, to freeze paper or making your templates. But they're also iron-on. So generally with an iron-on transfer, it gives you all of the instructions here of how to do it. You would cut it out and iron it on. They're all perforated edges, so you can peel them out quite easily if you want to. But if you do want to keep them in there, trace them out and you can use them as many times as you want. Normally with iron-on transfers, you do still get a few uses out of them. You normally get sort of 3 or 4 uses. So I'm not sort of, I don't want to be quoted on that, but give it a go if you do want to iron them on, as you'll definitely get a couple of goes with them. But it will talk you through exactly at the back. But these are all of your to scale transfers. Even once you've ironed them, it doesn't mean, you know, that the book's no longer useful, because you can, I suppose, you can trace them, can't you, from the pictures as well. You could trace them from there. And you can trace them from the transfer still, can't you? They won't disappear when you iron them off. They just become, they won't stop transferring, basically. I'm with you. So they're not like the transfer glitter tattoos that you get, and when you know, when you use it. I'm not saying that. You know, when you transfer them on, I'm just going to keep doing the action whilst Hannah's like just saying things that I really shouldn't say on telly. So then you transfer them on, peel it off, and then they disappear, don't they? They won't disappear. They'll stay there. You can just trace them out. I'm with you. £9.99. Okay, exclusive to us at the moment. Oh, can I just say, congratulations if you've made the most of the machine bundle, by the way. We've had multiple people who are checking out on the bundle. It's a brand new bundle today. Not only do you get the amazing 550, which I know so many of you love, as it is the only machine that we stock at the moment under £500. We're so confident, obviously, in the quality of Elna. It's got 50 great stitches. It is computerized, so you can easily navigate around all of the different stitches. But today, you also get it with a great book filled with inspiration, learn to sew in 30 minutes. So you get like your workshop almost. You get your class there with all of the different projects. Plus, we're going to give you some fabric as well to get playing around with. And it's lovely, like Hessian and organic. You've got gingham in there, different prints. So very popular fat quarter pack. We're throwing in for free as well. It's good, it's worth over £25. Do you know what? It might not be... that might be, though, the reason that it sort of goes, you sway your decision. If you'd been thinking about it already, I love getting some useful freebies. You're going to use those lovely books. It's a great machine, though, I must say. A lot of people who are maybe starting on their sewing journey but don't want to buy a very, very basic machine. Maybe you've been borrowing somebody's machine or using a really old machine that you've been using, that's 30 years old. You've dusted off the garage shelf and you've bought it in and you thought, no, do you know what? I've really gotten into sewing during lockdown and I want to invest in a great machine that I'm not going to grow out of, within a year or two. This is the machine that Hannah has the equivalent of, basically, from Elna. But she's a slightly older model. She said, I didn't get an extension table with it. This one comes with an extension table. It comes with a great array of feet. It comes with a standard accessories anyway. The thing is, you're going to have to get yourself an extension table, aren't you? And they can cost. They can cost. You've also got your nice little storage box in there to keep all your bits and bobs that come with it. So it's a great machine. If you were thinking about it, today's definitely the day with the brand new bundle. It's £479. Have a serious think about it. It comes with a 2-year warranty from Elna as well. Okay. Oh, we talk about this so much. I love this box. This is great to get yourself organised. I did get myself organised at the start of lockdown. I did. And it's all just gone to pot already. I say already. The start of lockdown when you think, right, I'm going to wash all my makeup brushes. I'm going to organise all my fabrics. I'm going to do all of these cupboards, sorting out all my cans and tins. These are all the things I did. I went through all of my kitchen cupboards, cleaned them all out, did all that. And everything gets then... Oh, Hannah said, I didn't start with tidy, I'm starting now. That's a good idea. Good idea. But it's all sort of gone to pot anyway. But if you do want to get your threads nice and organised, this is fantastic for it. If I, so let's take this down 1 second. So, in your thread organiser box, you get 10 DMC quality skeins in here. They're beautiful, beautiful quality. They'll be at random, so you've got lots of different colours there to play around with. 10 different DMC skeins at random. You also get 100 of these bobbins, these cardboard bobbins, which you can get really creative, maybe rainbow order. I've seen some beautiful, very satisfying pictures on our Facebook fan page of people who have bought this box and put all of their skeins in. You get 100 of these cards, ready to go. Get yourself nice and organised, maybe rainbow order like this. And it will fit loads of your embroidery skeins. I sort of keep mine in I've got one of those boxes from, that flat pack furniture shop where everything you have to build, they do like these sort of cube boxes. So mine's in one of those cubes. And you're constantly sort of rooting through looking for a certain colour thread and you think, oh, I'll just buy another one because I can't find it. I think I must have run out. And you can't actually see what you've got. You end up buying things twice and 3 times because you can't find it. So, and you're keeping them nice and sort of dust-free, lint-free in a nice sturdy case. And you can see what you've got. It's just so much... I find it so... satisfying, I think that's the word. Just find it so satisfying when you can see what you've got and you can get on with your sewing instead of hunting through. You tend to just go, oh, can't be bothered now. I've hunted high and low and can't find the colours I want. Don't think I've got the colour I want, so I'm just going to do something else. Whereas if you can see what you've got nice and organised, plus you also get your winders and 10 random DMC skip threads for £9.99. So if you've got this box, if you want to have a good old play of winding all your bobbins up, we've got a new gadget which loads of people have already made the most of. I've never seen one of these before. Where is it? Got it. I've never seen one of these before. And I think this is one of those really handy inventions that, you never really realise how useful it is for £2.99 until you use it and realise, my word, that's made my life so much easier. So your bobbin card, is this easier if I show you from there? Thank you. So, just so I can show you this part closely, it's ideal for winding your floss, ribbon, threads or yarn. So it's a locking mechanism that holds your bobbin, so holds this cardboard bobbin in place securely whilst you're winding, and it's got the little winder. So all of your instructions there, but you can see you've got the top section there where you would put your bobbin, put it onto your case or put it onto a side, clip it on, and then wind it up, and it will wind it nice and neatly. That's just going to make it so much quicker, isn't it? £2.99. That's one of those little things. You know what? I'm not going to keep talking about it, but if you've already opened up your basket and you've already paid your post and packaging, for £3, definitely add one of those in. Okay. also have my embroidery hoops. I've got two. I've got the one with a clamp stand and I've also got the freehand one. So I'll do the one without the clamp stand first because you can work in it, and then if you've got the book, you could just frame it, or you could use the book to transfer it onto another project like a skirt or a bag or a cushion, lampshade. It suggests as well. So it's a big hoop. This is a 9.6 inch, 9.6 inch diameter. So it's a nice big hoop. I've seen lots of people who decorate them as well with ribbons as well and all sorts. £5.99. Oh, I've got 9.4. I think it says 9.6. Sorry, I think they've got different sizes on them, but the one on it's 24 centimetres. Ah, maybe it's the difference between tight or loose. Do you know what I mean? £5.99. Please will you let me know why you think that we get the measurements wrong. But yeah, they're really handy. They are beautiful to just hang up as they are as well, to hang up, keep your embroidery work in them and have them as wall art. I love them. And it's £5.99, just £5.99. Another one of those that if you've already bought something, absolutely add to your order whilst you can. This, whenever we used to get this in stock, it sells out very, very quickly. I've just clamped it straight away onto the table. I don't think you're going to be able to see that. I'll take it off. Right. We've got a nice thick wooden table as well. The great thing about it is that look at how, if you've got a big workbench or a dining room table or wherever you're sort of clamping it to, you can work hands-free. I do like the idea of having, you know, the chance to step away from it. If it starts to frustrate you, you're getting in a bit of a tangle, you need to walk away from the hoop. The phone rings, the doorbell goes, somebody needs a hand with something. You can literally put your needle straight back in and walk away and leave it. So it will clamp using this to your table. And then if you imagine, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp it on very quickly. You can then position it in whatever angle you want. You've got lots of different ways of twisting it. So you've got another screw at the back, so you can have it facing towards you and you can do your stitching here. You can also see the back and you can do any of your bits and bobs with completely being sort of hands-free. You can spin it round, it's full 360, but then you can also tighten it. So when you're happy with the position of how you're stitching, because you have got to think about your posture as well. If you're sitting doing your hand stitching and you've not got your shoulders back, whenever I see Helen McCook doing her embroidery, she's always got great posture. And it's about getting yourself into a comfy position, isn't it? Because you can lose hours and hours without even realising, just stitching and stitching. So it's nice to be able to have the option of using it as a clamp. Obviously you don't need to, you could take it off I suppose and use it as you wish, but it does come with that table clamp. It's £19.99 and every single time we get this in stock it sells very quickly. Just as a warning, if you do want this today, check out as soon as you can. Great though, isn't it? We'll stick with embroidery for a second. We'll stick with embroidery because the Kew Garden book, is like the most gorgeous coffee table book for me. The pictures are beautiful. The projects are amazing. We launched it here. We absolutely love this book. We launched it here at Sewing Street. We are going to do the May Morris, by the way, next. Warning, we're going to do it next. And it sort of goes in conjunction. It's got a very similar feel to it. You also get 5 random DMC skeins. Be different colours to this, but 5 free DMC embroidery floss to start you off. It's got your iron-on transfers, which are at the front here, so exactly the same as the ones that I was saying before. You can use them multiple times, and then once they wear off, you can always trace them. You've got 11 beautiful projects, but I suppose you can mix and match them as you wish. So it's just one of those books, I think with the hard cover, it just makes you treat it with such respect. It's a beautiful book. I think I told you this before, but it'll always remind me of a book my sister's got. And it's hers is a recipe book, but it was from Claridge's, and it's just really special. This isn't just a project book. This is the most beautiful Kew Garden embroidery book. So all of your different bits and bobs that you're going to need, it will talk you through your essentials. It will then also talk about how to prepare your hoop, mounting your embroidery, stitch instructions. How gorgeous are they? And they look so difficult, but actually I think achievable with this book. Every single one of them is like a work of art. Look, going through all of the different stages of how to create this amazing ombre. They're beautiful. Every single one of these projects is stunning. We were talking about, you know, as a special wedding anniversary gift or something for different flowers that someone may have had in their bouquet, or a flower that means a lot to somebody. Look, the Japanese, they're beautiful. Had lots of people messaging in last time I was doing this saying, oh, is there one of these flowers in there? Is there one of these? That's your blue cornflower, pea pods, butterflies. Oh yeah, it isn't just flowers. You got blueberries. There's also a gorgeous bumblebee in here. Let me flick through. There you go. There's the bumblebee. And look at how textured and fluffy that bumblebee is. He's gorgeous. There's such, because you could do amazing samplers like this. Can you imagine? In your hallway, you could just take parts of this. You don't necessarily need to do it all. It's one of those books that I think you would just work with over years and years of stitching. Love it. Work up to one of these projects. £21.99 for an avid stitcher. This would make a beautiful gift, wouldn't it? If you know somebody that absolutely loves hand stitching, this would make an amazing present for somebody. It's gorgeous. Talking about using your iron-on transfers as well. £21.99. Right, it's time. Are you ready? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I am. This could be it. Hang on, can we just take a moment to remember that this could be it? We're not getting this again, are we? If we get any, it's going to be drips and drabs. It's not going to be the whole collection. It's definitely not going to be all of the sort of half meterage, but potentially. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. It'll be what we can get. So I would certainly make the most of this. Right, let's just do the cream straight away, because this is now very, very limited. We wanted to show them. There are less than 10 meters of each of these fabrics, so be aware if you do love one. This is now down to 1 meter. Since I mentioned it at 8 o'clock, it's now down to 1 meter. There's gasps in the gallery. This is it. I'm imagining big opulent cushions with a piped sort of edge, like one of those oversized cushions. They're amazing scatter cushions with a piped edging in a satiny gold. Oh, absolutely. It's just so opulent, isn't it? It reminds me of something that you see on Escape to the Country. May Morris as well. Those of you that know Morris & Co. and recognise Morris & Co. when you see it in the shops, please just take a moment to have a research of his daughter, May Morris, because she was the head of the embroidery department of Morris & Co. at the age of 24. I mean, she is an incredible artist, teacher, and she was just an all-round great gal, wasn't she? She was just such an amazing woman who was such a huge part of the arts and crafts movement. We've read so much about her and have fallen in love with her. So a real big heads up to May Morris on these. They're beautiful. That one's now sold out completely. We've got the other 3 colourways, the same print, 3 different colourways, and this is everything that we've now got in stock. So let's do the black. This is ebony. We've got 6 meters of this left. This is the iris print, and it's one of the most popular in the whole of the collection. If you Google and have a look online, research Pinterest, or if you ever get the chance to go to the V&A Museum, this is a collection that's from Moda, but they actually teamed up with the V&A Museum to create this collection, designed by May Morris. It's absolutely gorgeous. This particular print is called Iris, and it is one of the most iconic prints. Whether you're fussy cutting, whether you're quilting with it, whether you're using this as borders on quilts or cushions, if you're using it for bags, if you're using it for smaller sewing projects like tote bags or little, I'm thinking like little storage tubs or pouches. Imagine embroidering over the top of this as well. 749.5 metre. It's one of our favourite collections ever, I'm going as far as saying, not just for Moda. This is will be one I remember. This will absolutely be one that will go down in the history books of Sewing Street. It's been one of the most popular collections. Normally we'll get a collection in and we will then get another one in, give you lots of choice. This is one that people kept missing out on, and we've done everything in our power to try and get you more. This is it. This is it. I think it's because no matter what age or no matter what style you have, we can all appreciate that very classic arts and crafts, gorgeous, gorgeous print. It's timeless. It's absolutely timeless. I know they took influence from all over the world, but it's very sort of British, isn't it? You do think of some of the finest country stately homes. You think of those big National Trust houses. Hence why I say about the Winterbourne house, which there was actually a range, Winterbourne house range, that Liberty did. And it has a similar sort of feel. When you see William Morris and you see Liberty, I always think of, you know, when you go to a museum or you go to a National Trust house or you go to any of the sort of, when I go to the Cotswolds or different places like that, you go into some of the touristy shops, heritage shops, and they will have the little toiletry bags or makeup bags, and it's these sort of prints. And I've always seen Morris & Co. and never even heard of May Morris, didn't even know about May Morris. So I'm so pleased that we've learnt something new as well about Morris & Co. So popular. Okay, so that's your ebony. It will sell out today. All less than 10 metres, remember. So if you want, in fact, less than 5 metres of that, somebody could come in and just say, right, I'm taking the lot. The cream is definitely all gone. The ebony at the moment, go for it. I'm saying ½ metres, or I'm saying 10 metres, how much is left. We'll still cut it off the bolt for you. They haven't been pre-cut into ½ metres yet. So if you do want it, the 7½ metres that's still on the bolt, if you want a bolt to 7½ metres, check out on the lot now. So if you are thinking of bigger projects like curtains or blinds or larger, what about for dressmaking projects? It's a quilting weight cotton, but you absolutely can do soft furnishings and all sorts with it. 749½ metre for something that is so, what's the word, opulent. It's so rich, regal and opulent. 749½ metre, that's your crimson colourway. I'll always remember my mum, well, in fact, my mum wants to make, she's bought some new blinds, and she's been asking me about how to make like, it's called like a pelmet around the top. She was like, right, I'm thinking if you use some buckram and some wadding, you could make your own sort of pelmet. You could have, I'm imagining like some really lovely blinds with this as the pelmet. It would look so rich, wouldn't it? It would look so amazing, little detail. And those of us that know, and a lot of people know William Morris and follow Liberty, you always recognise the prints straight away, don't you? My friend's got a William Morris teapot, and she didn't even know it was William Morris. Oh, it's a William Morris print. You just notice it now, don't you? And when you know, when you're in that club, you're like, oh yes, I recognise that. That's the crimson, by the way, crimson 749. At the moment, there's now very limited quantity on all of these. We're looking at less than 10 metres of this blue, less than 5 metres of the crimson. I love this. It's such a different feel in the blue. It's such a different feel. The other one's quite, the crimson I must say is like a, when you see warm golds and reds, whereas this, oh, I can imagine doing some embroidery over the top of it with a metallic silver thread, or an ochre would look different as a contrast. You could have it with, it's quite dramatic, isn't it? Try it with the colour wheel. Ochre and navy blue, I think, still works, doesn't it? It's worth having a look on the colour wheel and seeing what colour complements this, and going with quite a stark contrast even. I'm not very imaginative or daring with my colours. Whereas Hannah, yeah, she's going full ochre and orange with this. 749½ metre. Remember, we can cut it to whatever size you want. So if you want 1 metre, if you want double this, it's 112 wide, then add two units to your basket for 1 metre. If you want more, so go for it. It could be the last chance on it. I've got a feeling it will be the last chance on it. Okay, I don't know where this first hour's gone. Right, we're going to come back with the extra wide backing. I was going to start with Osnaburg. It's already sold out. So I didn't even mention it, did I? Have a look on the web. Have a look on the web shop, by the way. If you want the grey, that could be sold out before we come back after the break. So stay where you are. Stay tuned. We've got extra wide backing fabrics, more gorgeous fabrics all coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm John Cole Morgan, and I'm here to give you my top tips on how I go about enjoying my sewing experience. My first top tip, as everybody knows, rotary cutter safety. If you're not using it and it's not on the mat, that blade must be locked. Please be safe. My second top tip is always buy more fabric than you need. If you don't have it, it's always going to sell out. You're going to struggle to find it, and when you do, it's going to cost you a lot more than when you were going to buy it originally. So buy it all. You always regret the bit you didn't buy. My next tip is, positive or negative, always listen to the advice and opinions of other people. Even if you ignore them, everybody has a different perspective, everybody has a different take on things, and it might help you along the way. The next top tip I have is always buy the most expensive and the most useful and the most practical for your brain product that works for you. Some people prefer different things. Buy what works for you. And my last tip is, this is fun, this is enjoyable, and make sure you are enjoying it. Because there's nothing worse than carrying on with something and hating it and not enjoying it. You need to make sure that you're having fun. Those are my top tips and how it is that I enjoy my sewing experience. I hope they help you, because they have helped me. For more handy tips and demonstrations, make sure you watch us on our Freeview channel 74, Sky channel of 670, otherwise follow us on YouTube on Sewing Street, where you can catch up on past demonstrations and shows. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hi there, my name's Alison Marion and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire, where I run a couple of sewing groups, and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw, and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now, this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hello, I'm Kerry from Living in Loveliness, and I'm delighted to be part of the Sewing Street team. I'm based in Wolverhampton and I absolutely love working with fabulous fabrics. In particular, I love working with fat quarters and showing you how to get the most from your scraps. I love bringing communities of sewers together and encouraging people to sew for greater causes. Most recently, we have been sewing for our NHS and key workers. I look forward to bringing you hints, tips and techniques. I'll see you soon.
You'll meet Kerry tomorrow. I'll meet Kerry tomorrow. I can't wait to meet her. It's really strange, isn't it, that we, I feel like I know her so well. I bet everybody does. We're seeing all of her demos over the last few weeks, which has been brilliant. So, yeah, I'll be here in the studio from a socially acceptable distance, from our 2 metre distance. Socially acceptable, that's the right word, isn't it? No, I'm not. From a social distance. So, yeah, she's going to be here in the studio to do 2 amazing demonstrations, one of which I think she's already done and filmed it, but she's going to do it live anyway, might as well. Also, I must say, Joe yesterday was a right sassy Sue. I told you this, didn't I? He had one on him yesterday. And I sort of volunteered because we got the machine out yesterday. We had the 680, and I don't know what Debbie had been doing with it. She'd been doing some different sewing anyway. She'd taken the needle out. Yeah, she take it. Oh, it'd fall now. Okay. So anyway, we couldn't find a needle anywhere. We were like, right, we haven't got any needles. We had some packets, but we were strictly told we weren't allowed to open them. They had to go back to the warehouse. So anyway, we couldn't do it until after the show. But there was a lady who messaged in saying, can you show us how to do the needle threader on the 680? So Joe loved me for it yesterday. I said, we'll do a video after the show. I was like, we'll do a video, will we? But anyway, so we did a video after the show, and I believe that Hayley, our marketing manager, has put it onto the Facebook page. So I hope, who was it that messaged in? Do you remember the name? Margaret. Oh, she saw it. She said, thank you so much. I hope you love it. If we can do anything like that, of course, we absolutely will. And I say, if you've got any questions about any of the machines, message in, and if I can answer them and show you, absolutely, then I will. And if I can't, I'll always do it straight after the show and find out and let you know. So if you do have any messages whatsoever, Facebook is a great way to get involved and a great way to talk to everybody here, because somebody's always logged into the Facebook page and we'll be able to get back to you. It's Sewing Street TV on Facebook. Or if you want to email Hannah upstairs, hello, she says, very, very creepy. That's how she speaks. Hello. studio@sewingstreet.com. Come say hello to Hannah. Hope you're okay, everybody. Hope everyone's having a lovely morning. It's time. We've got extra wide backing fabrics. Now, in the graphics, I think it says quilt backing. Oh, the possibilities are almost endless with this. There's so much that you can do with these sizes. You just basically get in a Laura fabric. Are you ready to see how much? Right, brand new colours launched the other day. Literally, it's actually, look, you can't even see, can you? There's the end. Still won't fit on the camera. That is all for $8.99. You're getting so much fabric. It's gorgeous quality. It's quilting weight. And that's why we say quilt backing. It's ideal for quilt backing. But actually, I'm thinking cushion fronts, cushion backs, dressmaking. You're getting really wide fabric. I'm thinking for bag makers, for linings, for purses, for linings, just so that you've got loads in your stash ready to go. Okay, the price on this, I've just noticed, sorry, is not a price point that I would ever expect. The only place I've ever seen, the prices of extra backing fabric is here. That's the lowest price I've ever seen on any extra backing fabric. Thing is, and no disrespect to any small sort of shops at all, it's just the fact that they literally don't have the space to store them. If you imagine how wide these are, the bolts they come on are huge, as you can imagine. So they just don't have the space to store them. We've got a warehouse facility. So it's amazing that we have started to get in so many different colours, all these different patterns, lots that's going to go with your stash. So if you do have a specific quilt in mind, maybe an unfinished project that you've done the top and you've now wanting to get to the point of finishing your quilt, this is your chance. What about for your sashing? What about for your borders? What about for your binding? It would look lovely actually as binding because of that crisscross. It would look really nice as binding because of the pattern. But storage tubs. Grey's very in on homewares, and it's unisex, isn't it? Maybe if you're making washing bins for teenage boys in the room and different things like that, washing laundry bins or things like laptop cases or tablet covers. How many you're going to be able to make, even if you buy 1/2 metre pre-cut. Remember, this is going to be cut off the bolt, so it isn't going to be pre-cut 2/2 metre. If you want a metre, it will come as one continuous metre. That is a lot of fabric for less than, well, let's face it, £19. How much? £18 for a metre? That's so good. So good. And you'll only pay 1p if you've bought something already. Loads of you have already got involved in the early bird with lots of different May Morris fabrics, with all sorts. So now is the time to make the most of it. Pardon? $8.99. It's gorgeous quality as well, I must say. Oh, yes, it does. Look, it goes really nicely with the tildes. These look lovely. Although your recording is, it is recorded, Kat. Less than 5 metres already. This only launched a couple of days ago. Right, less than 5 metres of the grey. If you want it, make the most of it. As I know, a lot of people are buying multiple units of that one. Right, let's open them all up. We might as well. It's good to use... No, it's not annoying at all. It's good to show you the size of them. Right, and I'm getting quicker with my folding now. Thank you. Right, let's go for... What colour now? Aqua? Black? These are really useful, aren't they? It's a neutral colour. It's a new colour as well. This was a colour that only launched literally a couple of days ago. What am I doing? This is nice for dressmaking. This is really nice for dressmaking. This would make a nice pinafore. Right, now it sounds a lot, but there's only 15 metres left. That's it. Bearing in mind this literally only launched a couple of days ago. 2 days ago. Not yesterday, the day before. Thanks for clarifying. 2 days ago was not yesterday, the day before, Hannah. Right. If you like a contrast dark background on quilts, this would look great as well with maybe like your ebony May Morris. I'm just going to sort of swish this round like this. If you were to put it with, again, I'm going to show you, next to your dramatic Tilda colours, oops, it would look lovely. This I can imagine is like quite a nice, smart workwear pinafore style dress with like a little white t-shirt underneath. But then if you were to put this with like your ebony, it's a great colour as well, background colours to go with any of your May Morris. There's so many fabrics this is going to go with. I can't think of anything it wouldn't go with, to be honest. What about a blind? It's going to be quite a good blackout blind, isn't it? It's going to be nice. Just £8.99. I'm thinking for like officey things. If you've got an office that you've got like your little tubs for your pens and bits and bobs, maybe lining in a waistcoat or even lining in anything. I like to have a nice dark lining because I tend to spill everything in my bags. So it's nice to have a dark lining, isn't it? It's nice. I think I heard you say that, Hannah. I think we're just quite similar like that. Light lining, you can find things, yes. But Hannah says, I have a lot of spillage issues. This is why Hannah can't really do a presenter show all of the time. Like, I know the fans want it. I know that a lot of people. She says, look, I can do it every now and then. But she has, said some things questionable this morning in my ear. Oh, Hannah, you missed out yesterday. We had your sewing books for everybody yesterday with a nice man. And I half expected the book to have been the electric scissors round the man. I thought, oh no, it's going to be, he's not going to be there anymore. It'll be on Hannah's wall. But that's extra wide, remember. It's 280 centimetres, which is 108 inches wide. So, I mean, it's a lot of fabric. Bearing in mind your normal quilting weight fabric is 112 centimetres wide. This is 280. And bearing in mind, you can pay £8.99 for a ½ metre of normal width fabric. That's gorgeous. Right. Let's do aqua, please. Right, I'm going to actually text. So I'm just listening to Hannah. What are you trying to say? No, God, say it again. To have such a vast, blue can be a bit in your face. But actually, if you think of it as getting ½ metre, even for your stash, how useful blue always is. Even if you don't think of it as one project. If you think, oh, I see this as one big 280 centimetres, you think, oh, that's a lot of blue. But actually, unless you've got a specific quilt in mind, it's a lovely sea blue, isn't it? It's like aqua. But if you don't, oh, I'm getting in a pickle now. If you don't have something in mind, then you might think you use a lot of blue in your stash anyway, don't you? Even if you're just thinking of smaller pieces. Right, let me pin that onto her. It's like sea blue, isn't it? This is so beautiful. No, I'm not. I'm not swimming in and out of the fabric. Like that. £8.99 for your, oh gosh, the things they make you do here. Things they make me do. 280 centimetres. It is like a big sea, isn't it? I like that. You can make a big den. What about a teepee? An under the sea kids teepee. That would be so cool. A different themed sort of mermaidy teepee. Oh, I love that. Yeah, what about things for bunk beds? Bedding. This is a great idea to do bedding as well, to do some duvets. Because look at how big that is. That's ever so wide. 280 centimetres wide. If you're multi-buying, it's going to come joined up as well, so you can buy multiple units. Did you say you got Debbie to do that as well? Just £8.99. And let me show you again that beautiful pattern. Just adds a bit more interest, doesn't it, having the little squares. Half a metre in your stash. You do use blue a lot. It's the most popular colour. Whenever we do any sort of bundles, it was always the most popular. This would be nice for toy making as well, wouldn't it? Thinking a big blue elephant. Or a big fish. A mermaid tail you could do with this, couldn't you? Let's go to red, please, Kat. We've got Kat producing tomorrow, by the way. Oh, we've got two Wilcox in the building tomorrow. Joe and Kat are here. And just to remind you, Kerry is here live, living in loveliness. She's going to be here on the show. It's very exciting. Okay, the red. Oh, this would look nice with your tartans. Let me put this to the side. 1 second. Right. So again, I am going to pin this to the mannequin just so you can see, once again, all of them are huge, 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 huge. And that's a lovely striking red, isn't it? £8.99. Are you starting your Christmas projects? If not, get it now and put it in your stash ready for when you are. Because how many stockings are you going to be able to do with this? Gift bags. We're thinking more about sort of sustainability and, you know, trying to reuse things as much as you can. What about reusable gift bags, you know, that somebody can use as little drawstring bags or wine bottle bags? They'd look ideal in this. Table runners. What about using, you know, placemats that come out every year or crackers that you can make and reuse? I'm thinking Christmas. £8.99 for your extra wide red backing. That's 280 centimetres wide. Isn't that lovely again? Great colour with your crisscross pattern. And it is a really lovely, lovely colour red. It's not one that's too bright. In fact, this is what I'll show you next to the tartans. It would look really nice with those as well. Just as linings for bags. £8.99. We've got one other colour. Pardon? What were you thinking then, Kat? Red and white quilting is very, very popular indeed. These would be really nice. It's that quite traditional red. Quite traditional colour. Right. Also got final colour in your extra wide is green. This is it now. This is the last one. Another one that may be just for your stash. Although I would really, really like somebody to do a huge crocodile. Stuff it with lots of toy filling. It would look so good. Oh yeah, as a draft exclude a crocodile or snake or something. That would be huge. Right, my folding's getting a bit questionable now. Sorry. It's absolutely massive. There's so much fabric. It's so much. Look at that. Whew. Loads and loads of your green for just £8.99 a half metre, which remember is 280 centimetres wide. Storage tubs, huge crocodile. End of ideas. End of ideas. Oh, that's a good idea. What about a quilt playmat? You could applique some things like your footballs, and it does look like a football pitch, doesn't it? Or roads on it and cars on it. That's a great idea, playmat. You can make like a picnic, you know, picnic blanket. This is $8.99 a half metre for your extra wide, loads of fabric for $8.99. Okay. Do make sure you're checking out your basket on any of these deals. If you are getting into your sewing, maybe you've dusted off an old sewing machine from that's been up in the loft, or in somebody else's loft, or in somebody's garage, and you're just thinking, right, now, you know, coming to the end of lockdown, and I still want to continue sewing, but I need to give somebody their machine back. If you're thinking about starting to upgrade, or thinking about maybe trying a new machine, we've got a great deal on this Elna machine today. It's got fab freebies. You're getting some fat quarters for free, and a Learn to Sew in 30 minutes with your sewing machine book from Debbie Von GC. It's £479, which is the most affordable Elna machine that we bring you. In fact, it's the most affordable machine that we have. It's the only machine that we bring to you under £500. And the reason that we do that is because of we want to make sure that we're still bringing you quality. I understand it isn't the most affordable machine on the market, don't get me wrong. If you've got a budget of £100, £200, yes, you'll find a machine, but you probably want to upgrade it within a few months. From my experience, if I'm being honest, my grandparents, she bought a really a machine from yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it was awful. It was literally bouncing along the table. I said, Gran, you can't use this. And it wasn't cheap enough for it to be, you know, really, you know, a throwaway thing. But whereas this, obviously you get a 2-year warranty with Elna. Elna is one of the most, well, it's a sewing machine brand that's at the forefront of the sewing machine industry. It's been going for about 80 years now. So they're very, very good. Elna is Janome. They're under the same umbrella. Very, very good when you know that you can pick up the phone and call somebody in their UK-based customer service team if you've got any problems. But it's actually very, very easy to navigate around. It is a computerized machine, but it's not too technical. You're not going to get bogged down with trying to press lots of different buttons. You can choose between your stitches. You can alter your stitch length and stitch width with these buttons. You've got your quick, almost like speed dial buttons, where you've got your straight stitch, you've got a zigzag. That's almost like an overcast stitch, isn't it? Like if you're finishing off any of your edges with dressmaking, that'll be really handy. You've also got a buttonhole there. You've got an extra, well, 49 stitches here. You've got 50 stitches with some pictorial satin stitches. You've got some buttonholes on here, a choice of buttonholes. You've got your zigzags, applique stitches. You also get an extension table included. So if you are doing larger projects, if you're starting dressmaking or if you're starting quilting and you want that extra support, if you're doing some free motion even, then this is fantastic to be able to do all of those. It has a free arm. It also has got an extra storage box in the centre. It's got all of your different speed controls, so you can use it with or without a foot pedal. And you can change the speed using the controller here. You've got your needle up down, so instead of using your hand crank to, you know, keep your needle down when you're pivoting or you're getting to some quite intricate sewing, you can just press your needle up down. You've also got a locking stitch, so you're not having to do reverse. You can reverse if you want to, but you've also got your locking stitch. And as I say, you can use it with or without a sewing machine, with or without a foot pedal. So I'm thinking for anybody that is at that point of potentially wanting to invest in maybe their first proper sewing machine. This is the same one that Hannah has, equivalent to what Hannah has. They're very similar indeed, and it really does the job. She said, obviously, she works here and does sewing, but wanted a sewing machine for at home. And I know a lot of even professional sewers, people who sew every single day, will have this as their second machine, because they don't want a cheap rubbish one when they're off in their holiday home. They still want to be able to do their projects on holiday, but yet they have this as something that they can take along with them. it is portable. It's weighty still. It's a robust machine. It's not going to be jumping around your table, but you can pack it away. You can put it into one of the cases or make a little cover for it, and you can store it away really nice and easily. And then when you're ready to sew, it isn't going to take you ages to get it out, find all the leads, plug it all in, sort out all your stitches. It's computerized, it's ready to sew, easy to thread and ready to sew. £479 is a brand new bundle today. Bundled it with, remember, your fat quarters and your machine sewing book. Have a serious think about it. If you have got any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We love this machine, and if there's anything that you would like to know about it, of course, I can let you know as well. Or have a look on the website, because it will tell you all of the standard accessories. As I say, it does come with an extension table as well. Okay, fantastic. Let's move on to some fabrics. Now, I've got half meters of fabrics, which we're going to whiz through. Oh, I've got... That's all right. Which one do you want to start with? Yes, absolutely. Our dragons. Now, these are individual, by the way. We've got it in the cream, and we've also got it in red. Now, it is a beautiful, beautiful soft fabric. Poplin weight, so it's slightly lighter weight than your quilting cotton. But nothing to worry about. I mean, you can still absolutely use it as quilting fabric. If you are using it for bag making, then you could use H640 or another sort of interfacing to give it a bit more structure. This is the one that Hannah wanted to start with because it is very, very limited in stock now. It's the last of stock. There's 4 meters left. That's it, only 4 meters. I love the flowers on this, the gorgeous detail in the dragons. It looks really, really pretty as well in the ivory and gold. And it's not a metallic gold, it's like a printed colour gold. It's really gorgeous. Just £4.99. So many people have already sent some beautiful, beautiful photographs onto the fan page using this fabric. I mean, you could do really lovely, intricate stitches over the top of the flowers, couldn't you? Imagine embellishing with some embroidery. £4.99.5 meters, a great price as well, isn't it? No wonder this has flown out. £4.99. It is your poplin weight. We've also got it in red. Grey and black, extra wide backing fabric, now sold out. Well done. It only launched literally 2 days ago. If you want the aqua, the red or the green, be quick. We do have a bit more stock of those, but still, it's definitely worth making the most of it. Also got the red. Oh, right. In fact, actually, do you know what? On the black, you've still actually got... You might still have a chance if you've got it in your basket. It's kind of gone, but there's a lot of you that have got it in your basket. There's 3 meters left. And just a heads up, if you've got it in your basket, don't wait to check out because that's about to sell out. Okay, the red. These are your lovely red dragons with that gorgeous gold again. It's quite hard to see, isn't it, on the camera? But when you get it home, it's really, really intricate detail. £4.99. That's so pretty. I can just imagine quite small projects with this, actually. Small, little, very delicate, like a needle case or a little purse, a little clutch bag would be beautiful. £4.99. I would like to embellish, though. I think it would be really nice with some bead embroidery or sequins or little tassel on the end of a zip on a bag. £4.99. Whilst you're on the Jewellery Maker website, as it's our website as well, if you are thinking of doing some bead embroidery, just have a look. They've got loads of seed beads that would be perfect for embroidery. The hedgehogs. The hedgehogs are so cute. I love these. So your hedgehogs in, they're just so adorable. They're literally like looking up. My gosh, that's so weird. That's broken my dream. I dreamt I had a cat last night. I've had really strange dreams the last 2 nights. The night before last, I dreamt I was in Strictly Come Dancing. It didn't go well. It didn't go well because I couldn't find the call sheet to let me know who I was dancing with. They put me all in the outfit. I think it was because I watched the Eurovision film on Netflix. And it reminded me of that. I was running around like trying to find my place. And then I looked on the monitor, preview monitor, and the show had already started. And Hayley, our head of TV, was singing with her friend, who's also my friend Rachel, singing Tell Him Celine Dion and Barbara Streisand, and they can't sing like girls. But they were brilliant. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so good. And I haven't even got my partner to dance with. And then I woke up and I was all in a fluster. Gosh, it wasn't really a dream. It was more of a nightmare, actually. But yeah, gosh, I don't know why I've been dreaming lots. What does that mean? I need to dissect all these dreams. But I definitely dreamt that I had a cat last night because that cute little hedgehog just reminded me of his face. Okay, this is Lewis and Irene, Small Things, Country Creatures. Because this little hedgehog here, is so adorable. And the cat looked up at me like that. And it literally just broke my dream. I thought, oh, like that. So gorgeous. It was like a blue hair little, I don't know what breed they are. I'm not very good at cats, but do you know what I mean? Like a really lovely grey one. Yeah, let's have a look at that lovely little hedgehog. Oh, it's going to make me cry. Does anybody else have weird dreams? Please will you message in. What did you dream last night? Have I broken your dream? Did you think, do you know what? I haven't thought about it. But I did have a dream last night. Tell us. We want to know. studio@sewingstreet.com. studio@sewingstreet.com. Okay, so Hannah fell asleep with Ab Fab on. So that really affected your dream. I don't know what it was, but you were dreaming about Ab Fab. Oh, gosh, yeah. Say no more. Say no more. So these are so lovely, aren't they? With the little leaves. Look at his face. Oh, I love it. See, this would be really lovely for a little backpack, wouldn't it? How about having a little backpack that you take on your walk with you? Maybe children collecting like bits and bobs from their walk adventures. Little bag that you take when you do on your dog walks. I do have quite a country sort of feel to this. What about for gardening bits and bobs? Hannah's well into her gardening now. She's really green-fingered. She's, what about a nice gardening bag for you, Hannah? Gardening bag, or I also think this would be nice for a new mom's bag. You know, you always have to have your mom bag, don't you, with lots of bits and bobs to take out on the move. Whereas this would be really lovely as, yeah, a little bag to have on your pram. Or storage things for your pram. We've also got, oh, I can see a picture of your garden. Oh, I thought you had a picture of it. I'm excited. Okay, this is then same again, but with white and pink leaves. £4.99, a half metre for your country creatures on cream. £4.99, a half metre. Lewis and Irene, Small Thing Country Creatures, and they are absolutely adorable. Oh, I'm excited to hear everybody, if anybody else had a strange dream last night. It's weird, isn't it? Because you don't remember it necessarily until something sort of reminds you, but then you can't remember the whole extent of it. Okay, we don't need to know about Cat's dream got quite complex last night. £4.99 and a half metre. Do you listen to a podcast in your sleep then? Will you put on something to sleep to, like a podcast? My word. No way. See, my friend, he used to always listen to Harry Potter every night, the audio books. But gosh, I could not do that. Any noise is really annoying. Oh, he does the sleep talking. Yeah. We've got the little rosettes as well. These are so lovely. The blue and ochre. Oh, I've not seen this one before either. Little horse rosettes. Have you ever won rosettes like this? These are amazing prices, by the way, for Lewis and Irene fabrics, aren't they? £4.99 for rosettes. I mean, a Lewis and Irene designer fabric. You would normally say about $7.99, wouldn't you, for a designer fabric like this? I would mix that with the ochre colour. You've got ochre, blue, beautiful white as well. That would be really nice with this bundle. That would go perfectly with that bundle. £4.99. You're right, Kat. Oh, 0800 14433 if you do want to speak to the customer service team. You don't need to worry if you haven't already created an account. The customer service team will help you do so. It's definitely worth making the most of fabrics at that price. Designer fabric, gorgeous quality for $4.99. The other one that goes really nicely is the raspberries and golds. This one. Yeah, we made hot pots out of that. The Annie's quilting book, didn't we? Chic hot pots. Sorry, just trying to work out where that bundle is. Oh, we can do it. We can do it. We'll do it afterwards. The bundle's coming up next. $4.99 on your natural ivory with those lovely golds and raspberries. Have you won a rosette before? I feel like you used to do horse riding, didn't you, Kat? Did you used to do horse riding? No? Oh, she's got friends with horses. Wow. Have you ever ridden a horse, Hannah? $4.99 a half metre. No, it's more because you're more of a city chick, aren't you? Oh, she used to go horse riding. There you go. $4.99 a half metre. That's on your neutral. We have also got. Have you found the bundle? Fabulous. Okay, this is one of my favourite colourway bundles actually, and it's something that I would never put together myself. I think it's really difficult. It's a skill in itself putting fabrics together. And if you're looking on the website and you see the sort of different thumbnails, the little pictures of the fabrics, hard to sort of put together bundles. So when we do it like this, make the most of it because you just know straight away these all work really, really well together. I think they look lovely with this one. Go really, really well, just bringing out those lovely ochre shades. So ignore the fact that it says chick hot pot holders, pot holders. It was a bundle that we put together to go with an Annie's quilting book. And I know that we made some beautiful little pot holders with it. Whereas you're getting half a metre of your cream, half a metre of the grey, half a metre of the lovely ochre sort of shade, and then half a metre of the navy blue. Somebody just put a picture up on the Facebook page of Mabel, and Mabel's got lots of rosettes. Oh, how's Mabel got rosettes? Oh, just for being a dog. She's allowed to win first prize. Best in show. Oh, wow. Best in show, first and second place. Oh, Mabel's gorgeous as well. Have a look on the fan page. These are really nice colourways. Actually, they'd go very, very well with. You should make Mabel a dog bed. No pressure, but Mabel, do you want a dog bed? Would you like a new dog bed? That'd be so cute. There's these lovely colours that look amazing. £12.99, 2 metres for less than £13. They're all half metre pre-cuts, just so you aware. So different to the fabrics that we were talking about earlier. These are now all bundled, all cut, ready to go. So if you're multi-buying this, just be aware that they're coming as half metre pre-cuts. Colours work really, 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 really well together though. Love that gold. Is that called gold? Yes. Just because if you do want more of that, for example, I want to know what the actual colour on the web shop's called so we can match it up. What I could do is I can give you the code. It's ZELJ82. Yeah, it's called gold on the website. So there's cream, dark grey, gold, and navy. Oh, that's true. It's ZELJ82. The others are quite easy to find. It's navy, grey, and cream. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, this is really cool. So the two new toys, I want to say. Two new, oh, where have I put it? It's in that little box, isn't it? I was having a bit of a rummage through, having a look at these. These are so good. So if you're doing a bargello quilt, or if you're starting out quilting and you need to remove a lot of stitches, you and I both know how hard it is to unpick, especially after if you've not tacked them, if you have stitched them on your machine. And sometimes if your stitch length's quite short, then it can take forever to remove stitches. And don't get me wrong, you then think a bit more about your pinning the next time you're doing it. But my word, I wish I had one of these when I was first starting. This is like, it's like a hair clippers, isn't it? I think we've all had to go with hair clippers, haven't we, over the last few months? But these are brilliant for removing your stitches. So you charge it up and it won't damage your fabric. So it's not like using a razor to your fabric. It won't damage it. It is designed as a stitch remover. It does come with a plug. You charge it up and then, literally like a razor, but it's going to remove your stitches without damaging your fabric. How useful is that? Oh, do you know what? This is such a good gift for somebody as well, isn't it? I've never, ever seen one of these. Very quick, very easy to use, and will remove stitches. I wondered whether, see, I can't really start pulling apart John's quilts or bits and bobs, can I? There was things that were all lying around in the studio, and I thought, I can't start unpicking. I think one of his shirts is over there. Imagine just start unpicking all of all of his stitches. But it's $29.99 and it's really great, quick and easy to do without ruining your fabric. For less than £30, I think that is a really nice gift for somebody. It also comes with a little brush so you can brush away your little bits of lint, and it also comes with your little squeezy bottle to clean it. Just $29.99. I think that is such a great gift for somebody. It's Bridgewater Stitch Remover. It's just a bit of again, a nod to our craft, isn't it? It's different ways of making our life easier for us. We love. That's fab. I've never seen that before, and that's a great one. Love that. Should we do the other toy? No, not yet. Saving it. Go on. It's fine. Let's go back to some fabric. Can I, oops, dropping them. What is it is it this one? Ah, so this is the last chance to get this now. We had it in a few different colourways and it's now the only colour that we have. This would be nice for your tiki bar. Hannah's making like a cocktail bar in a garden. This would be amazing in a garden, wouldn't it? It's a cocktail bar sort of garden. Do you know what I love about it is, can you see, I had no idea that when you said the tiger fabric, I thought, no, this isn't the tiger fabric. I didn't even notice the tigers first. I saw the flowers. But then can you see, this is one of those sort of illusion fabrics that if you were to fussy cut this and do it with a mirror, an EPP or piece them together, they'd look amazing because there's so many different secondary patterns. In fact, if you were to get, I've seen somebody do this where you have a piece of cardboard and you cut out your size hexie into the centre. So you've got a big piece of card, you cut out, and then you just focus on different parts of it. So for example, you've got here, you've got here, you've got this one. You've got so many different, you can start recreating your fabric, completely different fabric each time. There's so many different looks, and I'm probably missing even more patterns along here now. If you were to do the trick with the mirror, that you get this symmetrical sort of look, oh, it looks incredible. I would love to see that with this fabric. I bet it would look awesome. You can start to sort of, if you fussy cut it and start to piece them together, you can see when you're using a mirror, the symmetrical part. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean at home, don't you? There's a technique that you use to fussy cut using a mirror. And when you piece them together, it's all like a kaleidoscope. So cool. I love this fabric. Again, it is designer fabric. It's Lewis and Irene. It's beautiful quality. I want to see this in your tiki bar, your cocktail bar, Hannah. Oh, fab. Are we going to do the dragonfly one? Because it would look lovely with it together, actually. It's the same sort of colour. Is this Lewis and Irene as well? Yeah, this is Lewis and Irene as well, so it will complement it absolutely perfectly. Ah, Kat bought this. I heard you made your trousers as well with the pyramid fabric. How did that go? Did it go better than Hannah's trousers? Everyone struggles with this sort of crotch area, don't they, on the trousers? Hannah and Kat do. This is the Water Meadow sunset. Oh, I'm so relieved that we have Jenny McCreary, who's joined us, who sent us a video in, and she's got an amazing demo on a kimono that's coming up at 11 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. In fact, the tiger fabric for the kimono, oh, that would look cool, wouldn't it? $4.99, a half metre. So what are you making with this one, Kat? You bought half a metre just because you really like it. You don't really know what you're doing with it yet. EPP. Orange in your EPP. It's quite a nice sort of burnt orange, isn't it? It's like a terracotta. Not terracotta. Yeah, it is terracotta, isn't it? And pot holders, nice. Because they are. It is like the colour of your plant, your terracotta pots. They'd look lovely. Yeah, have a look at the. Have a look at the detail on the dragonflies. £4.99, a half metre. For the Water Meadow sunset. They're lovely, aren't they? Great detail as well. Quality of printing is great. You can tell that, can't you, when you're looking at Lewis and Irene? It's designer fabric. Okay. We've got 4 different panels to show you as well. So I've got squares and I've got my design roll, my rainbow. It's always popular. Let's do squares. I've got like a paisley print. We can do the paisley one first. This is the first time I've seen this one. Oh, yeah, look at these colours. So, in fact, I'm going to open it all out so you can see. It's like your charm pack size. They're all 5-inch squares. So if you've got any patterns that call for a charm pack or 5-inch squares, then you can cut these and you know that you've got complementing colours and complementing patterns. £12.99. For your Paisley Grove fabric squares. It is completely exclusive to us, and I love all of these colours. Look at these beautiful tones. Classic, isn't it, when you're looking at paisley prints, but then to have it in these lovely colours. Completely exclusive to us. How many did you get? 40. So 40 coordinating squares. All thought about when you're talking about the scales of print, the different complementary colours. You could do, even very, very simply, patch sort of all of these together, or you can subcut them, obviously. You could use these in your EPP and cut hexes. Using small hexes, you'd probably be able to get a few hexes from each of them. You could pin tuck between them. You don't necessarily need to cut it. You could pin tuck between them and do a cushion. Loads that you can do with this. Use them in the front of your bag making. We've seen some great ideas using charm packs. You can use your templates and do some applique. Just £12.99. You know when you saw Delphine's, Delphine's cushions, her camper van cushions. That was using a charm pack. So even though you're seeing it as a panel, there's loads that you can do with the Tilda charm packs. Our charm packs are beautiful. Cathedral window, maybe. There's absolutely loads you can do. Enjoy that. That is the only paisley print that we have, this sort of colourway. We've got a couple of florals, which we'll do now, the other square ones. Yeah, absolutely. So I've got this one. Oh, I've got the larger squares. Is that the same size squares actually? Is there two more to do? Oh, they're nice colours, aren't they? I think these are lovely, like lounge colours. This deep blue. Keep looking on Pinterest, and this is the colour everybody's having in their kitchen at the moment, aren't they? And this ochre still is complementing everything. I love it because it's quite sort of, I would have said that is an autumnal colour, but actually with some of these prints, it doesn't feel autumnal. It just looks quite dramatic, actually. I really like it with that dark, beautiful indigo-y blue base. Your Copen Summer Fabric Squares, £12.99, once again exclusive to us, and it's really, really love quality. I think this would be really nice with as well some of your denims. How about if you were to do some rag quilting? That's fine, I'll talk about it for a bit. If you were to do some quilting, I like seeing different textures, people working with different fabrics, whether it be woven or whether it be denim, whether it be cotton, whether it be a lighter weight or a heavier weight. It looks really cool having your different textures and different feels with fabric. Obviously when you're quilting, be aware that they are different. It will feel different when you get to the different fabrics. But I'm thinking if you were to use like a denim blue, a denim fabric, amongst all of these as well, it would look so cool. Almost like your rag quilting, you could do it with this, couldn't you? You could have it that the seams are the other way around, so you have that lovely fray from your denim, but then you have this sort of colour peeping through, whether it be on your cathedral windows or whether it be just simple patching. £12.99. Bear in mind you're getting 40 of your coordinating squares. That one's really nice as well. Almost blossomy print. I'll slide it forward so you can see these ones as well. They're not all of these deep blues. You've got quite a lot as well of the lovely yellows and quite springy time colours. Don't need to even necessarily use them all in one project, do you? They're just nice for your stash. Use them sparingly. £12.99 for a big panel. Bearing in mind, how much does it cost normally for a charm pack? Yeah, you can pay a lot, can't you? You can pay a lot more than £12.99. Or if you're thinking about, right, I want this print and I want one of these prints and I want one of these prints. Like Kat said, I just really liked that dragonfly print, so I just bought ½ metre. If you're starting to build up ½ metre of this and ½ metre of that, it can get costly. Whereas you know that you've got 40 coordinating squares, all of these different prints and all of these different fabrics, for just £12.99. It will also go really, really well with the Annie's quilting book. If you did get the, what did we call it? The chic pot holders bundle with the blues and the golds. We made some great pot holders using this book. So I'm thinking for charm squares, for ½ meterage, no matter what you're sort of working with, this is another one that I'm going to show to you in a second. £12.99, right. Oh, is there? Right, so we've also got a Just Charms quilt book from Annie's Quilting. I haven't seen that one. Have you seen it, Kat? Not seen another Annie's Quilting one, is it? Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, got it. Right, this one. So this is your Just Charm quilts, which is 11 great project. You have so much for your money with Annie's quilting books. They're always extremely popular. To be able to get, well, 11 quilt projects for £8.99 is pence per project, isn't it? And it's all designed around using charm squares. Now, I remember when Wendy Orlando had this book and she says, oh, I'm not a quilter. I'm not a quilter. I normally do, home furnishings. She says you can use elements of this. Even if you're not a quilter, just use the block and make cushions, make bags, make all sorts with it. It doesn't need to necessarily be the big quilts. But to have, this one alone is a 50 by 62 inch square quilt, 52 inch by 62 inch by 50 inch quilt. And then you've got the prairie points as well. You're learning lots of great techniques. See, so you could use our panels That would look lovely with our panel, wouldn't it? You're dancing in the rain. You've got festival quilt. You've got your paper piecing. You've got your charming stars. You've got your linear quilt. You've got your butterfly trio, hot pads. So see, you've still got these really achievable projects, nice small ones. This is lovely as well. How amazing would that look mixed with your batiks? Changing the colours would change the look completely though. Have a bit of free motion practice. Practice your binding as well. You get all of your templates included and very, very clear instructions for just £8.99. It's a really full book, isn't it? You've got 11 different projects. Carrot, I can't hear you anymore. Okay, we've got one other squares panel. It's all right. These are the purples. Same prints as the gold and the blues, but this time in your purples and creams. £12.99 for 140 centimetres by 57 centimetres. Have you done something to my sound, Cat? Or is it me? Okay. Just £12.99. Half for all of your panel. It's not half metre this time, remember. It's all of this. It's 140 by 57. So if you are multi-buying, it will come like this. But then it's up to you whether you want to whether you want to cut them into squares, whether you want to cut them into half square triangles, whether you want to cut them into diamonds, whether you want to cut them into hexes. The possibilities are endless once again with your charm packs. There's so many different patterns that call for 5-inch squares. It's just a great way to be able to have all of these different colourways and to be able to have all of these different patterns for just £12.99. And it's lovely plum. I do like this colour. It's a really nice colour. Okay. No, can you come back? Can you hear her now, Hannah? That's better. Okay, let's do the rainbow panel. This is always, every single time I bring this on, it's always still as popular as the first time. We have a lot of people who have messaged us saying, have you still got it? Is there any way we can print any more? Is there any way you can still do it at the special price? Remember, all of our panels like this are normally $19.99. This is $14.99. Whether you see it as a rainbow panel or whether you see it as a huge stash builder, whether you're choosing to cut it on the bias and do bias binding, whether you're doing straight binding, you've got beautiful ombre of reds into these yellows and oranges, into your greens, into your blues, into your purples. There's so many gorgeous graded colours. And I like the fact that they've got the little dot on as well. We've seen people who have pin tucked between them. We've seen people mixing them in with the batik fabrics. We've seen a lot of people who have used them during bag making. You can use them for your lovely beige yellows. I just think this is such a great way of stocking up your stash. You've got so many colours. I want to do binding. I think binding would be beautiful. The 2.5-inch strips, and I like the fact that you have got that little bit of wiggle room in between. So if you're using your new electric scissors, you can just whiz straight across and cut them with this. Perfect. What about a makeup bag or a bolster cushion, a rainbow bolster cushion, just pin tuck between them? £14.99. We've seen lots of gorgeous rainbows, of course, over the last few months. And now is the time, whether it be using the blues for a certain project. As we said, the blues are always going to be very, very useful. Or you're going to be able to match up the yellows with some of your other fabrics that you've got in your stash. The fact of the matter is that take advantage now whilst you can, because it should be $19.99. And it is really $19.99. It's a special price today while stocks last. We're continuing that special price, but the reason I say today is because I don't know how long we can continue it for. Our prices on our pre-printed panels like this are normally $19.99. Bear in mind, it's a design roll, a jelly roll. Think about how much you pay for, well, you compare it to sort of £40, can't you? 2.5-inch strips. This is $14.99. It's absolute no-brainer. Amazing. Right, we're going to go to a quick break, but we're going to be back. We've got overlocker. We're going to be talking about dressmaking. We've got lots of dressmaking tools. We've got some electric scissors as well. One of my new favourite toys. Oh, very excited about that. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you, and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is at Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got 2 Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page, and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All 3 of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those 3 and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual. Always keep it to hand because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick and pick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Hello, my name is Sally Stevens. I'm from Worcestershire, a little town called Upton-upon-Severn, which is a lovely little riverside town. And not far from there, I also have a little sewing studio, so I can work and leave all my mess left out when I'm preparing projects and quilts and so on. My speciality is, in fact, quilting, patchwork and quilting, and I probably started that when I was about 14 years ago. So as I often joke, that was only 7 years ago. In fact, it was rather a lot longer. But I've always enjoyed crafting, and patchwork really hooked me, and I love it. So now then, what can I tell you? Something you may not realise about me is that although lots of you have seen me many, many times on Sewing TV and classes, because I teach as well, I also do a lot of unpicking. So don't be afraid ever. If you have to unpick things, so do we. It's not a problem. We all have to start somewhere. And sometimes you get a bit cocky and think, oh, I can just do that without pinning or without this. And then you think, should have paid attention to my own words. So some sewing tips for you. That's one, keep a seam ripper handy. That will always be your friend. And another one that I think is very important, whether you're a beginner or more experienced, when you're sewing something, particularly for the first time, a new technique, slow down. There's no rush. It's not a race. Have a little practice with spare fabrics if you've got them before you use your best fabric that you've just purchased so that you get your techniques just right. But also slow down, take your time, watch what you're doing, think about what you're doing, and read the instructions. That's always very useful. So, what can I say? I've been asked to say what my claim to fame might be, and I would have to say, in all honesty, being on Sewing Street.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello, I'm Kerry from Living in Loveliness and I'm delighted to be part of the Sewing Street team. I'm based in Wolverhampton and I absolutely love working with fabulous fabrics. In particular, I love working with fat quarters and showing you how to get the most from your scraps. I love bringing communities of sewists together and encouraging people to sew for greater causes. Most recently, we have been sewing for our NHS and key workers. I look forward to bringing you hints, tips and techniques. I'll see you soon.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hello, I'm Kerry from Living in Loveliness and I'm delighted to be part of the Sewing Street team. I'm based in Wolverhampton and I absolutely love working with fabulous fabrics. In particular, I love working with fat quarters and showing you how to get the most from your scraps. I love bringing communities of sewists together and encouraging people to sew for greater causes. Most recently, we have been sewing for our NHS and key workers. I look forward to bringing you hints, tips and techniques. I'll see you soon.
Oh, we're so excited to meet Kerry tomorrow. She's going to be joining me live in the studio. 2 demonstrations tomorrow, which is very exciting. And yeah, we've got loads to do this hour. So, right, where on earth do we start? Let me talk about the machine deal because there's a lot of people who have already taken advantage of the amazing offer which we've launched today. The Elna 550 is one of our most popular, and I'm using this word very, very loosely, entry-level machines. It's by no means, I understand, it is a considered purchase, and I know sewers that use this machine wouldn't want me to call them entry-level sewers. Hannah being one of them, But the reason that I'm saying this is because it is the most affordable sewing machine that we offer. If you're looking for something that has got the build quality, it's got a 2-year guarantee, it has 50 stitches, so it's not going to be something that you can, you're not going to sort of grow out of it anytime soon, very, very quickly, as you've got buttonholes, you've got satin stitches, you can do applique on here, you've got decorative stitches, you've got some quilting stitches on here, you've got all of your You've got things like your overcasting stitch if you want to start your dressmaking. If you want to do any of your utility stitches, there's loads and loads to offer you, plus an extension table and a hard cover. You get lots with this machine anyway, and today we're offering it as well. There's the cover, yeah. You get the nice hard cover, which I think is really important with this one as well, is because we don't all have a workroom. This might be for somebody who sews on a weekend and we don't have the space to leave our sewing machine out all week. If you're sewing on the dining room table, it's nice to be able to store it away and know that it's safe in your hard cover. So just so you can see, I mean, it is really lovely and lightweight, but not too light that it's jumping around your table. It's still a nice sturdy machine. Even with the case on, you can still get to the handle. It's Kat really wants everybody to see the case. So when you put the case on, this is the case, everybody. You can still get to your handle, so you can store that away nice and easily. How nice is that? It's a lovely case. So I'm just going to put this away. Sorry, Kat. It also has all of the features and functions that we love about the Owner machine. So these quick reference buttons, start and stop. You don't need to plug your foot pedal in all the time. You could do it start and stop. Just press it once and it will start. Press it again and it will stop. You've then got your reverse. You've got your locking stitch. You've got your needle up down. You've got your speed control. So even if you've got your foot pedal plugged in and you've got it right down as a tortoise, you can still put your foot right down and it's not going to speed up, so you can really control your sewing. Again, these extra speed dial buttons, you can quickly and easily navigate through your stitches using the up and down arrows. You can change your stitch width and stitch length using these plus and minus arrows, plus and minus digits. Buttons. You then also got quick reference buttons of your straight stitch, your zigzag. This is like a dressmaking over edge stitch, and then also you've got your buttonhole. So I mean, there is so many amazing features and functions of this machine that I don't want to call it an entry level, but I am thinking for anybody who is upgrading maybe their first machine and thinking, right, do you know, I'm ready to make that plunge and get a good machine. This is a fantastic offer at the moment for free. Learn to Sew in 30 Minutes, a great sewing machine book with some really brilliant achievable projects. And what I like about this book as well is if you're a bit like me and you watch Sewing Street and you think, oh, I want to have a go at that, and I can have a go at that, and I can have a go at that. The cloud, lots of people keep asking us about the cloud. This is where our cloud comes from. We've had that there the whole time of lockdown. The famous cloud off our set. But what I like about it, if you do like to sort of dabble between skills and think, right, I want to do some soft furnishing stuff today, or I want to do a bit of dressmaking or bag making, you can sort of try a bit of everything. Try out your skills, build your skills with your book that's coming for free, as well as your fat quarters. So it's over £25 worth of free goodies today. Plus, remember, you do get your 2-year guarantee through Elna. It will come separately to your bits and bobs, as these will come from us and the machine will come from Elna. Love that though, and if there's anybody who's got any questions about it, please do get them in, as if we can answer them on air, we absolutely will, and if it might just take us a few minutes afterwards, then we will also get the answer to you after the show. Okay, right, now as I say, this machine, it's got that overcasting, it's got that overedge stitch, which if you're starting out dressmaking, you don't necessarily need to invest straight away into buying an overlocker. If you are a dressmaker, this will change your life though. Overlockers are amazing inventions that aren't necessarily for constructing, which, do you know what, I say that quite loosely because no, it's normally for finishing, but you can also do your construction with it. So a lot of our guest designers who come in, and if you're using a cotton that's going to fray very easily, or if you're using a jersey that will stretch and warp, then an overlocker is fantastic. You can knock up a pair of leggings, activewear, swimwear, underwear, anything with stretch. An overlocker is going to be your new best friend. Now, the Elna overlocker is a very, very fancy one, I must say. And to say that it's less than £700 is probably the best price that I've seen on an overlocker that has this, which is, oh, let me take my my front box off. I don't want to jam it up. It has this, which is your air threading system. One thing I heard right at the start of my sort of sewing journey was, oh, overlocker threading is just awful. It's really hard to do. Whereas actually with this with this air threading system, it completely changes the world of threading overlockers. So for one, this is colour coordinated. Now you don't get these bright colour threads. We've done it sort of for telly purposes so you can see what an overlocking stitch is and what it looks like. And it does look cool. It looks really decorative when you do it in different colours. But all of your dials, all your tension dials here are numbered and they're colour coordinated. So it makes it really nice and easy to thread. Whether you want to use 2 threads, 3 threads or 4 threads, you can do that with this machine. And the part that gets a bit difficult sometimes is threading the loopers, the upper looper and the lower looper, whereas with, sorry, my face is in the way there, with these little holes you can see how it works. It works with a pump. So once you sort of press the pump down, it can suck your thread through and it shoots it out through the loopers and threads your machine virtually for you. So it's really brilliant for that. And normally, air threading overlockers that I've seen are a higher price point, are a much higher price point. So this is actually really, really attractive. What I love about it as well, that one of the things I noticed straight away, first of all, before I shut this, look at the mechanics within. It's really, really well built. One thing I said about the machine earlier on with our 550 is that you're looking at a reputable brand. Elna in the same umbrella as Janome as well. They're very, very good at what they do and they've been doing it for a long time. So you're in safe hands with Elna. But their machine quality is fantastic. So that shuts away. But it's just nice to know the sort of, it's like when you open the bonnet of a car, you see the inner workings of it. It's great to see the mechanic side of it. This is a really nice size bed space. Lots of overlockers, again, don't have as much space as you have here. It also comes with your little box, which is almost works as your little bin at the end, because obviously it has a knife with it. It will finish your seams, it'll finish your edges, and it will then just drop them down here. So you have got the little tray that will collect any of those loose ends and fabric and thread, which, again, not all overlockers have. So that's a nice extra. What I love about this machine is that it almost adjusts its tension for you. So you're not having to keep changing the settings every time you go from a PU to a leather, or if you're constructing with a jersey or a knit or a cotton, it doesn't matter. It's just going to work with you. It's sort of done all the hard work for you. I can plug it in and just show you. In fact, I've done a little bit here just so you can see what an overlocker stitch looks like, what an overlock stitch looks like. Now, if you look in most of your leggings, if you look in any of your high street bought clothes, majority of them, as soon as you look, you will see this stitch. It will probably look all in white or all in black, but you'll see the stitch. I love seeing it as a decorative stitch as well with the colours. So I have known people in the past as well who have used an overlocker to construct patchwork beds and patchwork blankets for garments because it's really, really strong. It's ever so strong. So if you are making, like a dog bed for who's our Mabel? For our Mabel, if you're doing a dog bed, if you do it on an overlocker, it's going to be extra strong, really, really strong. So I'm not sure how easy this is going to be for you to see. Okay. Oh, thank you. Right, so if I spin it right round, that's going to be all right. I'm going to plug it in. I've got my foot pedal here, which doesn't quite reach the ground, so you're going to have to bear with me 1 second while I just plug in. It will at your home. It's just that we're all stood up and we're... Our desks are heightened, as you can see. I look really, really small, don't I? Right, so it's really nice and well lit, by the way, as well. So there's a light that comes on so you can see exactly what you're doing. And you have a really big sort of metal foot. Now, different to a sewing machine, if I lift that back, maybe you'll see, you don't have a sort of up-down lever. There you do. You do. You have a lever up, down, but I know a lot of people who just sort of lift the foot. Just be ever so careful. The blade is completely enclosed, so I think a lot of people get scared of the blade, but actually it's going to be your best friend. You've got some markings on the front as well, which say 5/8 of an inch. You've got really key markings that if you want to make sure you're being quite accurate, you have got those extra markings there as well. So if you just lift the toe up, and the only thing that's different with different to a sewing machine is obviously that it will then cut your edge, keep sewing, and bring it round. So it's honestly, it is so quick and easy to do, and you end up with this really strong finished edge. The end bits here can either be then poked back into the stitching, or using fray check, you can then just sort of dab it onto your ends, and then it won't fray basically. But you can use this with all sorts of fabrics. So you can use it whether you're doing it with like a canvas. As I said, I'm not adjusting any of my settings. I'm not adjusting any of the settings of the tension. And it's handling it absolutely fine. Once again, I haven't had to adjust it at all. And you can see that it's not going bumpy. It's not caused any problem whatsoever, and I've gone from a PU onto like a canvas. With any of your cotton, if you do find that anything's fraying, you'll find it on any of your, if you're using cotton on your inside edges, it just gives it that really lovely professional finish. Let me show you on this. I'm just going to go all the way along. It's so quick. Once you're all threaded and ready to go, even if you're struggling with the threading, don't worry about it. You can always put your new threads on, cut them, tie the next ones on, and run it all through basically. So you don't need to keep changing you don't have to keep threading it up. But with the air threading system, it makes it so much quicker and so much easier. You probably see a bit better actually the colour on this. I haven't done it very straight, but But just as an example, this is only using 3 threads, by the way. This is just using 3 threads, but look at how quick and neat that is. It does also you can do a rolled hem with this. So if you're working with a really lovely, lightweight, I'm thinking like a Liberty lawn weight, and you want to make lovely little pocket squares for a wedding, or if you want to do these lovely scarves, then this will be beautiful. Great gift ideas, and so quick. But you can see, look, if I didn't have the little case, then you just end up with a bit of a mess on your table. So it's handy as well that it does come with that attachment. Now you can engage or disengage the blade. You can change your differential feed. You can change all of your stitches, how many threads you're working with, obviously. But it will change your, I know that Jenny McCreary, in fact, I wonder if Jenny uses an overlocker in her next demonstration. I wonder if she uses one, because you could do so much with an overlocker, and I know that she is a huge advocate of working with overlockers. You may get your machine first and use your overcasting foot, and then move on to that next part. And if you are at that level of it, you know, getting to the point of, actually, do you know what, that will really help me. What I love about this is the price point, if I'm honest. Overlockers, I know, can cost over £1,000 with this air threading system. So it is fantastic value for money, as well as having the 2-year guarantee through Elna anyway. It will come directly from Elna, no extra cost. Just be aware that you do need to get your own threads then ready to go. £699 for that. So it comes with plenty of instructions, but they also have a fantastic customer service team that are based in the UK. And if you're anything like me, sometimes you just want to pick up the phone and speak to somebody, a human being. It's not an automated service that will then take you to the website or anything. There will be somebody there to talk to. I'm going to do my new favourite gadget. Just to remind you that... just to remind you as well that the deal on the Elna sewing machine is absolutely brilliant also. So have a serious think about those. All right. I've been talking so much to all of my friends and family about this hand cream, because we've all had a bit of a battering on our hands, haven't we, over the last few months. Washing our hands repeatedly does mean that I've had ever so dry hands and nails, not being able to go to any of your nail appointments or anything like that over the months. It has taken its toll. Whilst we're doing our scissors in a second, maybe just have a look at your hands, notice your cuticles, and see if they're in tip-top condition like they should be. What I love about these, and the reason that I've been talking to my friends and family about this one, is if you find that a lot of hand creams can not penetrate into your skin and sit on the surface, it can leave quite a greasy sort of residue. What I love about this is that it's a specifically designed hand cream and cuticle oil for sewers. Sewers in mind. A lady called Karen, who actually spoke about these for, I mean, she was on for the whole hour talking about them. So it's definitely worth watching the show back. Just type in Sewing Street and Seams. It was right back in February. She came in to launch these and talk to us about them. So I'm going to talk about them in a minute. We can have a nice little manicure in a minute. But first, right. It's the first time I've had these on a show. And I must say, I did see on Facebook that Neil said his pick was these. And I thought, well, it does look quite a contraption, doesn't it? And then I came in and I thought, yeah, this is a boy's toy. This is so cool. Then I started to use it and thought, actually, it isn't just a boy's toy. This really works. It's really cool. So they're electric scissors. You may have seen these on the show the last couple of days. I think Debbie had them a few days ago. It comes with, in your box, your electric scissors. I know, how cool are these? You also have a different head for them. So one's blunt and one's sharp. When I say blunt, it's not massively different. They're both going to cut, but yeah, it depends on how what fabric you're going through, because you can go through so much with these. I had a look online and they were cutting through vinyl, they were cutting through cardboard, they were cutting through different leather, fabric, all sorts. It's ever so good. So it comes with all of your instructions. It comes with, does it come with a, it does come with a screwdriver, because you will need a screwdriver to change the heads. It also comes with a plug, and it comes with your charger. It comes with your little charging point, like with your toothbrush. And it also comes with what you plug in to charge, an extra sort of battery charge if you want to use it like that. So, should we do some cutting? Now, I don't know whether, is that all right in that position, Kat? So you can see, if you're doing dressmaking, it allows you to go flat along. Now I've put this head on, and this is your trigger button ready to go. So as soon as I press this, that's the action that it does. That is the action that it does. So I can still keep this flat to the surface, and it will only move the top blade very, very quickly and cut. How amazing is this? So, right, I put it to the test. Let me get some of the fabrics that I've just been using with the overlocker. I'm going to start with cotton. It's the easiest one, isn't it? A nice sort of lightweight cotton, one layer, straight down onto the table. Oh, it is like butter. It's so quick. I tell you what, I love this. I absolutely love it. I'm doing it slower than I could actually. You're doing it really, I'm doing it really quickly. Now, obviously, you could use this next to your ruler as well if you want to make sure it's nice and straight. You can also mark exactly where you want to do. You could slow it right down, and you can do more intricate cutting. Let's have a go through like a canvas. This is like a Hessian. You can also do pattern cutting with it. So if you've got pattern pieces for dressmaking, how quick and easy is this? You can go round your pattern pieces really nice and easily with it. Or maybe bag making patterns, if you're using trickier fabrics. If you're using bag making things that are thicker, right, I'm going for it. I'm going to do a few layers. I trust it. Maybe you run a small business. I don't know if you can hear me. Ooh. And cut fabric off the bolt when it arrives. I've gone through 4 layers there, and once again, it's done it no problem. Let's have a go with some PU. Bag makers, you're using PU. Again, I can put it flat to the desk. Oh, that is, again, like butter. No problem whatsoever. Now, I know that Debbie Shaw has had a bit of a practice with these. I think it is something that if you are going to do some fussy cutting, or if you're doing cutting round smaller things, I probably haven't picked the easiest one doing circles, but if you take it slow with a bit of practice, you can still have great control. Sorry, I'm sliding me out the overlocker. It's not millimetres, but you can still have control. You can still get... You can still go slower and have control, can't you? Do you know what I mean? You just trim it down then when you're happy. But if you do want to do something smaller, then you can. Let's have a go at going through some Hessian. Oh, no problem whatsoever. No problem. I'm sure you can go through felts. You can go through multiple layers. You can go through real strong, tough leather. Kat's saying you can even do carpets with this. Take a lot of carpet up and you're using it, yeah, you need to cut it down to put it into your bin. Yeah, there you go. That's what Hannah needed to do. They are absolutely brilliant. It is such a gadget. It's such a cool gadget, but also extremely useful if you are, as I say, working in a shop and you're cutting lots and lots off a bulk. This is going to save so much sort of hand fatigue, isn't it, of snipping all the time. Just £169.99. Really useful, and I can see why this is Neil's top tip. It's clever to see how it actually works, though, isn't it? Also quite safe as well. It's not going to cut you, so it only cuts where the blades meet. Obviously, be careful with children, and I'm not going to... it's just against human nature to put my finger into it, but if you see, it only cuts where the blade meets, and your fingers aren't, you know, that small to be able to get right where the blade meets. Oh, it's amazing. Only launched literally a couple of days ago. You get plenty of charge, but as I say, you get your charging point, it plugs into your mains. You get an extra attachment as well with a screwdriver. It's definitely one of those that I would have in my toolbox, ready to go. So cool. Love it. Now, we talked about the stitch remover earlier on, and I want to put it to the test, if I'm honest. I want to just have a go with it. A lot of people have checked out on the stitch remover. If you missed this earlier on, just going to do a quick recap, and I've never used this before, so let's see how we get on. This is an impromptu little go with it, but we were talking about this earlier on. Basically, it looks like a trimmer, a hair trimmer, doesn't it? But it is designed to remove your stitches without damaging your fabric. If you're doing things like Bargello quilts, where you, yes, it's on purpose that you're stitching in place and then you're removing stitches. Or, I mean, even if your name's Debbie Shaw, or even if you are a professional sewer, you might make mistakes. Debbie doesn't, obviously. Debbie never would. But we all make mistakes, don't we? Especially, oh my word, not Debbie. When I was starting out, oh my word, this would have, if I knew that this existed, I would have been all over this. Now, we've just literally stitched together 2 random scrap bits of fabric so you can see how it works. So, it is plug in, you charge it up, and it's got these little sort of teeth at the start, but they're not going to damage your fabric. So, can you see that it's stitched? You can see that these 2 are stitched together. And what I'm going to do, I don't know whether it's easier for me to show. I've got quite a few examples anyway that I can show you. And straight away, peel it back. And it's removing my stitches so quickly and so easily, so much quicker than if I were to sit and unpick each stitch. And look, I mean, I've used an orange thread on here so you can see, but I haven't got any signs. Obviously, you can give it a bit of a press and those holes will just disappear. If you've done a mistake, there you go. How quick and easy is that? Now, if I turn this over and do it like this, can I go like that? Let's give it a go. I'm going to put it to the test. Still open up the fabric. Oh, that way's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, look how quick that was. That was so much quicker. And again, you can just trim away any of those bits or brush them away. And then give it an iron. And all those holes again will just disappear. How good is that? Oh, once again, remove this. Do you want another one? One more? Yeah, let's do it. Hannah's done me loads. So, I was holding it this way, but if you actually hold it the side with the button up, it's quicker. See what I mean? Oh, no. Hang on. Did you do a really big locking stitch there? I bet you can still do it even if it has got a locking stitch. That is so much quicker and so much easier. There you go. That is so much quicker and so much easier than if I had my little quick unpick. This is the quicker unpick. Well done to everybody that's already checked out. That is going to be such a time saver. Oh gosh, the amount of time you spend on picking. Oh, it is literally the bane of my life. So there you go. Absolutely make the most of it. I'm so pleased that we found that little gadget for everybody. And I love a gadget. I love something that makes our lives easier as sewers. We can spend more time sewing and less time unpicking. Then, yeah, that's fantastic. It's less than £30. What a great gift for somebody as well. Now, I mentioned our hands earlier on. We talk about using gadgets and things to help you. Our hands are they're our main gadget, and they kind of get a bit sort of left by the wayside, don't they? To be able to, it's really important that you look after your hands. I'm the same with my feet, and I always get told this, that you should look after your hands and look after your feet. Your hands, my mum always says, your hands age you. You know, you can have all of this, but you can tell somebody's age by their hands. And it says, my hands, after lockdown, look about 20 years older than me. 20 years older than me. We've got the hand and nail oil, and we've also got the hand cream. Now, even if you know somebody who isn't necessarily a sewer, what I love about this hand cream is that it absorbs beautifully. It smells amazing. It's not going to be greasy. It's not going to leave, you know, sticky residue or greasy residue on any of your fabrics if you are a sewer. So we absolutely love Karen for inventing this. She came onto the show and she talked all about it. She started with, it came about, and this is how some of the best inventions come around, isn't it? When you can't find something in the market that you need. She was on a milliner's course, and she said her hands were in bits. She asked the lecturer on the course what hand cream she suggested, and says there isn't one. So she went, right, I'm gonna change that. I'm going to do it. You don't want to leave greasy marks on your work. She didn't want something that was, she wanted almost something that was going to also repair, as well as just give you that initial, oh, that feels and smells nice. It actually will, it said to repair as well. So the ingredients that she'd chosen, she worked with a pharmacist to put together. And there is a lot of ingredients in there. Too many to mention now. Just so you know, there is macadamia nut oil in there, just in case you have a nut allergy. But all of the breakdown of the ingredients are on the website. And it will tell you on here that in fact, if I show you here, I can read it and show you. So it seems they're all natural ingredients, and she's done a lot of research into the ingredients that are designed to help moisturize the and also soften and restore. It's the macadamia nut oil that's designed to soften and restore, and those beautiful rosehip oils. Again, ones that you can smell when you get this home. The Nourish and Smooth is the shea butter. The Height that is designed to help hydrate and enhance skin barrier with provitamin B5. It's also designed to help even skin tone. It's designed to help strengthen your nails. I've found my nails have grown so much. And also the comfort of that Fregonia oil is the Seam's signature scent. So the hand cream, I mean, it's for the ingredients that have gone into this and the size of the hand cream, I think the price is very, very attractive indeed. If you go into any of these, you know, the L'Occitane or Neal's Yard, or if you go to Joe Malone, if you go into Selfridges, or if you want something a bit fancy, going into these really lovely, luxurious hand cream shops, you can pay so much more than this. It's a great price. And they're not necessarily tailored to people that do sewing. I love the fact that this is a nod to us. Yes, this can be across the board. When you're doing washing up, your hands get dry. I know that she supplies this to makeup artists, and she, in the fashion world, people who are working with fabrics all the time, she supplies this to people who are dancing on ice skaters. I mean, it's amazing. Paralympian, the swimmer, if you're in water a lot and you feel that your hands, it's absolutely brilliant. Have a look on the website, because it's really interesting actually, the amount of celebrity endorsements and testimonials that she's had from very famous people who have all absolutely loved it. You only need the tiniest amount, I mean like a pea-size amount in your hands, and give yourself of an evening a nice little hand massage. It's also nice to actually stop and do that. I must say, we do it most mornings, don't we, girls? We sit in it. It's really nice to be able to, don't we, girls? We have a manicure in the morning. It's nice to just be able to treat yourself. It's part of my morning routine now. Put my hand cream on. It's that lovely Fregonia oil that smells absolutely beautifully. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it's got the most beautiful smell that isn't clinical. It's not over floral. It's a very clean smell. And she's also designed that the smell disappears. So if you are working with like your silk dupions or wedding dresses, you don't want the smell to stay on the fabric even. So she's thought of everything. That's the hand cream. It absorbs instantly. I have not got greasy hands. It's going to last. Lovely gift for somebody, especially right now after this world. She said, I bought my mum some of this and I've kind of dug myself a hole now that she's like, I want some all the time now. Can I have some in the car? I'd like one from the kitchen next to the sink. I'd like one for my handbag. And my friend wants one. And somebody else wants one. She can't just use one tube all over the place. She needs one for everywhere. So you have shot yourself in the foot. And then when it comes to Mother's Day and birthdays and Christmas, you know what she's going to expect now. It's a lovely gift, isn't it? It's a lovely gift idea. And then Karen also brought out a nail oil, which this is what I really, really missed. If I'm honest, I've always had hand creams. It's something that I've been gifted a lot over the years. And they don't penetrate as well as the seams do. That one really does get right into your skin. But one thing I've never actually, I think it's such a luxury to buy yourself your own nail oil. When you go and have your nails done as a treat and they do all of your cuticles, if I'm being honest, I just don't do that at home. I file my nails, I paint them, I put my hand cream on and I'm done. But I've noticed since the lockdown that my cuticles, this is more than my nails actually and my hands, is my cuticles. I have had really bad dry cuticles. I've had dry elbows, dry ankles, cats in her flip-flops every day now. She says, I'm committed now. And she has dry feet. I'm only joking. But what I was going to say is that the weather's constantly changing. The weather is constantly changing and it has an effect on your skin, doesn't it? So this isn't just for your nails and your cuticles. Karen was saying, and it's designed actually to go on things like your heels, go on your knees, go on your elbows, any dry areas. You don't need much. 12 months this will last you. It's got a shelf life of 12 months. And if you're using it sparingly as you should, then it will last. So, I mean, it's got this little pipette, but, I mean, my pipette is far too full. I don't need anywhere near as much as that. I don't really need to even squeeze it. You can literally dab it as soon as it's been, obviously, in the, as soon as it's been sitting in the bottle. You don't need to squeeze the pipette. You don't need to do anything. Just dab it in and give yourself... you might need to squeeze the pipette onto your feet, Kat. But again, obviously from a social distance, I'm not squeezing the pipette near her feet. 2 meters, Kat, 2 meters. But just give yourself, again, a little bit of a treat. Get into bed at night. Keep this by your bedside at night and rub it into your cuticles. And it is designed to help strengthen your nails. I have been known to have acrylic nails, and I've known so many people that this has helped on their natural nails, strengthen their natural nails during lockdown when they haven't been able to have it done. Beautiful. Weather changing all the time can give you and the weather, it just can't make up its mind, can it? Keep putting my winter boots away. I arrived today in my big winter coat and my trainers, and there's Kat in a t-shirt and flip-flops. I'm like, we're all a bit confused, aren't we? We don't know what this is. We all know how much the weather affects our Hannah, mainly Hannah. But yeah, are we sitting outside tonight? Are we not? Are we putting the heating on? Oh, it's just confusing. Oh, can you have a bath? That's weird. So, they're your hand cream and nail oil. They're beautiful gifts. Look after your hands. They do a lot of hard work for us, don't they? And we should give them a little treat. Oh, so many people have messaged about the stitch remover. I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? We're now down to 14. I might need to just stitch these back together. Where's the plug? Let me do it. I'll just stitch them together for safety. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah's unplugged the machine for safety. Speaking of which, I have still got the iron on, remind me. We need to do friction pens. We've got 15 minutes. Right, I'm just going to bear with me around here. I'm just going to stitch very quickly. I haven't got my foot pedal. I haven't got my foot pedal, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the start-stop button, which is fantastic as well. In fact, you can see this a bit more now, can't you? So, you might not be able to see it. I'm just going to do this roughly so I can show you the... we threaded it up in orange on orange fabric as well. My hair. Yeah, I'm going quite quick. This is what I love about this machine, though, is that... my hair on my speed control. Oops. Sorry, let me just get my little snips. I'm at the wrong angle for trimming it with my trimmer. Right. So, that's your 550, by the way. It is fantastic that you've got all 50 stitches. Use the start-stop button. You can just get sewing really, really quick. You can alter your speed. You can change between all of your different stitches and it will tell you what foot you need. It'll also, as I'm going through the stitches, you can see that the needle is adjusting. So your needle is moving along and it's telling you what foot you need to use, what stitch length it recommends, what stitch width it recommends, and you can adjust it. If you can't adjust it, it will make this noise. Computer says no. I can make it smaller, but if I want to go to my maximum stitch length, stitch width, it's 7. So it won't let you do anything you can't do, but you can then just, you can turn off the noise if you don't want it bleeping, but it still won't let you do it. But yeah, really nice and easy. And as I say, you've got your quick stitches there. So it's telling me that I need my foot A to do my zigzag. It's telling me it's number 6 on my program. It's telling me my stitch width is at 3 and my stitch length is at 1.5. So I can change that like this. But anyway, that's the 550 little impromptu. I just love talking about it. Can you tell? I didn't expect to do that. I went off on a bit of a tangent. So stitch remover. I've done these stitches. I've realised my seam allowance isn't quite right. I need to undo a whole length of stitches. You can do this so quickly and so easily using... It's the first time I've ever used this and it's already just changed my life of unpicking. I'd normally sit with an unpicker. I'd sit with an unpicker and my alternative is to... There's probably an unpicker on here. It would take a long, long time. Don't get me wrong. It's very doable, but you've got to pick between each of these stitches and it can take a long time. This is a new invention. For me, this is a new invention and it's brilliant. So you peel one layer back and literally like shave away your stitches. I've gone quite a tight stitch here, but this is what's great about it is that you can go in, even if you've got quite tight stitches, even, oh, sorry, I'm getting very into it. It's brilliant, isn't it? How much quicker is that? When you get a good angle at it, oh, it's very satisfying when you're like, you know when you're peeling wallpaper off? That's what I'm comparing the satisfaction to. You peel a bit of wallpaper off, you're like, oh, I've got a bit. Then when you get a really good run at it, it's very exciting. So, remember, you can charge this up, you can plug it in and charge it up. And the main thing is, I'm just doing a little clean, the main thing is that it's not going to ruin your fabric. It's not going to ruin your fabric at all. Very satisfying, isn't it? So, there's less than 10 of them. Just thought I'd mention it again. There are less than 10 now. It's $29.99. Change your world. Change your world of unpicking. Right, so we all talk about the great thing about being part of Sewing Street. I love it because I get to play with loads of different gadgets and loads of different tools. And we never sort of... I'm not biased towards anything. I show you what I like, but also we have lots of different brands coming in. I tell you what I think's good about it, but you get to make your own sort of executive decision of what you like. Something that we love to bring you is different types of marking tools. And the reason that we bring you lots of different marking tools is because you have different personal preferences. So some people like to use a tailor's chalk. I find tailor's chalk can be quite messy. You need to spend a lot of time sort of dusting it away. You can use an air erasable. Sometimes I find they disappear quicker than I'd like. You can use a water erasable. You can find yourself dabbing, or you have to wait till you chuck it in the wash for all of your lines to disappear. My favourite marking tool, and I know the favourite of a lot of people, is the friction pens. Now, these are individual, aren't they? So I've got black. Let's do black first. It is, it's probably not best that I'm doing it on an ironing board, but it literally draws like, or writes like a ballpoint pen. It was actually designed specifically at the start for on paper. So you're going to be able to mark any of your seam allowance, you're going to do any of your notches, you're going to be able to mark out any of your quilting patterns. You can go around any templates. You can use it however you want on your fabric. And then literally you're ready for this, Kat, because this is where the magic happens. So I've got all of these markings. It will be quick. As soon as I press that with my iron, it's completely gone. It's completely gone. It's that quick. So if you're using it on different colour fabrics, you've got black, which is going to show up on virtually all of them, isn't it? Maybe you've already checked out and you've never tried it. Don't get me wrong, your postage is $3.95, so you might not buy it just if you're only buying a pen. But if you've bought anything else today, haven't got the bundle today, so if you just want to have a go at one, if you've already bought the early bird, or if you've already bought 1/2 metre of your William Morris fabric, maybe put your friction pen in there, your May Morris, sorry, if you've used your May Morris, maybe try out a friction pen. So, I've got all of my markings. You ready? It's literally, I would give it a test and see that you're happy with how it removes on any fabric, but there is literally no markings there. But what I would suggest is be aware that in extreme temperatures, your markings will come back. So extremely low temperatures, whether you go in a hold on a plane or if you put it in the freezer, your markings will come back. Or actually, remember, on the opposite side of the scale, it will disappear in an iron with heat. So if you're laminating a piece of paper, because you can use this also, I should show you, I shouldn't really write on the instruction manual, but it's going to disappear, no one will know. So if I'm just doing a bit of a doodle in the Elna won't ever know, because look, you can use the eraser on the end. If you're writing measurements, if you're adapting patterns, if you're writing your diary, lots of dates get cancelled. If you're anything like Hannah, you know when you think you're going on a date and then it gets cancelled? Instead of just crossing it out like this, you can just rub it out and it never happened. It's fine. So that's what's great as well, is that you can use it like a ballpoint pen on paper. That's black. I've also got red. And we got blue. The graphics for the red are coming in. It's just a matter of, you know, what colour fabrics you're using. It's nice to have a bit of a selection, isn't it? So you can use it on fabric, you can use it on paper. If you're doing any of your, just marking out my seam allowance, I'd like to use it for. So quite a clear line you can see there. Yeah, thank you, that's my lovely wave. It's gone now though. Even with the red on white, gone completely. Then we've also got blue. Depends what colour fabric you're working with. I know the bundle's now sold out because we're out of stock of the green. But if you do want, this is like your biro blue. So if you want to do some writing as well, you want to write in blue. Or I know, do you know, a lot of places you have to write in black biro, don't you, or you have to write in blue. So that's a really good one to do, because I always get really nervous then when I'm writing out something important and they say you have to use black biro, and you're thinking, oh my word, I've got to get this right once. I'll definitely get that for that. That's a good point, I hadn't thought of that. I'm always searching for a black biro, searching for a pen, and I'm thinking I'm going to get this wrong. I know I am. So then again, gone. With heat, with your iron, gone. Obviously be aware that if you're marking out all your dressmaking things and you need to do a lot of pressing, this probably isn't going to be suitable for that. This is why we like to offer you lots of different options. Your markings will disappear. So the stitch remover is about to sell out. If you want it, check out during the break. I think it will sell out during the show. If you're watching on a repeat, it's worth finding out. Check. But I can't guarantee it's available. I think it's very limited now. Check on the website and or speak to the customer service team. Don't go anywhere though, because we're going to be back. We've got a demo with our gorgeous Jenny McCreary dressmaking up next. Don't go anywhere. Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hello, I'm Catherine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking. But I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and, oh, you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I also just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself. And I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. Sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened, take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king-size quilt. Build up your skills, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
To seam ripper. My favourite piece of kit with the sewing is the seam ripper. Hello, I'm Janice from Birmingham. I specialise in dressmaking. I used to run a children's shop and I love making children's clothes. My mother encouraged me to sew from an early age. When we were young, we did dressmaking in the school. My claim to fame was the sewing quarter. But I'm now making also jumpsuits for ladies and men of all shapes and sizes, and it seems to be going for the festivals around the country. See you on the show.
Oh, we love Janice, don't we? I can't wait. I'm really gutted that you all got to see her on Saturday. Really gutted. I'll see you next time, though. And gorgeous Kerry is going to be joining me live in the studio tomorrow. It's the first time that I feel it's really weird because we're in this like little bubble here that obviously seeing Kat and seeing Hannah, and it's starting to be like, okay, right, we're getting people in the studio, obviously still at a social distance, but Kerry's going to be here, and I've been watching her all during lockdown, so it's finally getting to meet her. It's going to be brilliant. Right, this hour now we've got loads to jam pack in before we go to Jenny's demonstration. She's kindly sent us a video down from Glasgow. She's already sent it, and we've got lots to bring you. It's a gorgeous kimono. Now you may have seen on the Facebook page a little glimpse of our Jenny rocking the kimono. I love a kimono. How nice is that? Love the fabric choices. Amazing as well. I really like the way, you know, as we keep saying, the weather keeps changing. I'm one that I don't, it's been ever so hot, hasn't it, the last couple of weeks? That would have been perfect. On top of it, you've got your shorts on, little cami top and a kimono on. It's just what you need, isn't it? And actually, even though I've always thought kimono is something you wear on the house, I'd go out in that. It looks amazing. Just very quickly, I must say hello to Amelie and Sophia and Joel and Corinne, because I know that they're watching from home. So they are my friends and my friends' children, and they've all been busy sewing during lockdown. They've made cushions, they've made bags, and I was showing some pictures yesterday and they were amazing. So lots of love, and I'm so pleased that you're watching. I said, you need to watch us and you'll learn loads. So no pressure for me right now. You'll learn loads from Jenny McCreary if you want to try dressmaking. So we've got 3 different bundles. Let's start with the bundle in the centre because this is so cool. This is one of the ones that Jenny was wearing. Now it comes from Simplicity. You get your pattern and you get your fabrics. So the bundles are extremely limited. If there is a certain colourway that you want, I would check out as soon as you can. No pressure, but please do not wait till the end of the demo because I've got a feeling the bundles are going to be very, very popular indeed. So you have all of your fabric and you get your pattern. Now the breakdown of the sizes are on the back, but this goes right up to size, well, it's from XXL, but they've got numbers at the top. We always encourage anyway for you to measure yourself and see where you sort of slot in. But on the back, I think it's got European sizes on here. 1 second. On the website, second page, the second picture, it has this breakdown on the website. So if you do want to have a look a bit closer, I can't see that European part. Here we go. Let me turn it around so you can see it closely. Oh, no, you can't really see it. You'll be able to see on the website. You'll be able to see on this side. We'll have a look together. Oh, here we go. So European sizes, pattern size. So it says here XXS is a size 4 and XXL is size 26. So it's got a brilliant size range. All of the body measurements are here, and that's what I'd always encourage you to go by anyway, because I can literally fluctuate between, you know, some of these sizes here depending on what shop I am. So it's amazing that you've got that there. And the bundles are enough fabric for the largest size. So if you're not making the largest size, you're gonna have some fabric left over, and it's beautiful fabric. We're going to offer it by the ½ metre as well, but you have so much fabric here. 3 metres, I believe. 3.5 metres of between the two of them. So you have of the foliage of this amazing greens. I love that. That is perfect for your kimono, isn't it? And it hangs, it drapes absolutely beautifully. Isn't it gorgeous? Those colours are stunning. 2 metres of the green. It's viscose canopy. And then you also have 1.5 metres of your spearmint, which is again a viscose. It looks like a cotton on the picture, but actually, again, it's got that really beautiful soft feel to it. It's got a lovely drape, perfect for the kimono. So lots of fabric, 3.5 metres, plus then you get your pattern. Now let's do this fabric separately, because I think this is going to work on its own as a kimono without the contrasting panel as well. Now, by the half metre, it's £7.99. Obviously, I've got 2 metres here, which is 4 units. But it gives you a bit of an idea. If you want to see the breakdown of the sizes, have a look on the website. We've got a picture of the back of the pattern. So during the demo, have a bit of a look and you can work out how much fabric you need for your size. This is a 98% viscose, 2% spandex, so a really small amount of stretch. Hardly any stretch, in fact. And it's a lawn digital print, width of 140. Make it a kimono, love it. We've also got the other one that's teamed with the blue fabric, which is this one. I will show you another picture again of Jenny. I think it is this one with the birds on. It's gorgeous. So you can see the canopy, which is the greens that we've just seen, and then you can see Jenny wearing the birds. So the bundle comes with your pattern, 2.5 metres of your bird fabric, and then, which is again your viscose, and then you've also got that lovely blue. This one's called Midnight, just so you know when the demos on the graphic is called Midnight for these. £62.49, you get your pattern, you get 2.5 metres of your birds, and then you also get a metre, I believe, of your blue. But we do have this on its own as well. So it's up. No, we don't. Yeah. 2 metres, sorry, and 1.5 metres of the blue. 2 metres of the bird and then 1.5 metres of the blue. Sorry, getting myself confused. We have got the bird fabric on its own though. Let me show you that. So remember, I have got a lot of fabric here. We sell it by the half metre. It will be cut off the bolt to whatever size you want. I'm now thinking of other projects as well. What about some of your trousers that you made? They're lovely. It's like harem style pants. But they are perfect for a kimono. Absolutely ideal for kimono. Maybe you've already got a kimono pattern. This is 100% viscose. It's a digital lawn print again, and it's 140 centimetres wide, £7, 99.5 metre. The colours in there are beautiful. They really, really are. And it's, again, you can see how soft and beautiful that is. That'd make lovely scarves as well. That'd be ideal for scarves. Or a nice maxi dress. It's so lightweight. Do you know, even if you are someone who normally wears quite dark colours, but you want to jazz it up a bit and you still want to wear something light and summery, scarves, these would be beautiful. Rolled hems on your overlocker are going to look great with that. That would be a beautiful scarf. Just get 1/2 metre and have a bit of a practice at doing your rolled hem. So we've also got one other bundle, which is called, it's called what, sorry? Artsy Leaf, and this is slightly different because this comes with your rope and your leaf fabric, and you also get your pattern. The main body of the pattern bit, so your sleeves, will be in your leaf fabric, I think. So the leaf fabric, oh gosh, this is lovely. It feels... Yesterday we were saying, can you imagine if we said, right, now you press your green button and you can reach in and touch it. Imagine, this is so beautiful, isn't it? This would be the main body of it. Remember, you have enough to make the largest size in these bundles. Quality is stunning. This is one that you get your 2 metres of, and then you also get 1.5 metres of the navy blue with the rope. Can we do the leaf on its own? Let's do it. The leaf on its own. Remember, it's 140 wide. It's so silky soft. This again would make beautiful scarves. Lovely maxi dress. All sorts. I love the colours in it. So you've got so many choices of what you can coordinate with. I always look and think, oh, right, okay, if this is going to be for an occasion, what colour shoes am I going to go with it? What colour jewellery is going to go with it? What colour bag's going to go with it? And you've got this lovely navy background which goes with everything. You could go with like quite woody, you know, like wooden jewellery and things like that. You could go quite boho with it. Or you could make it really classy and have a pair of almost like navy court shoes and make it really, really classy. It's beautiful. 100% viscose, nice and lightweight. It's a soft lawn digital print, 140 wide, 1/2 metre, £7.99. That is beautiful. We love that fabric. The pattern on its own, if you just want the pattern, if you've got lots of fabric already in your stash, the pattern again ranges from European sizes 4 to 26. £9.99. The reverse of the pattern is the second image on the website if you want to have a look closer during the demonstration. We've now got a gorgeous Jenny McCreary. Is that everything you want me to show? Is there anything else you want me to mention? We've got Jenny McCreary, who has very kindly sent us a demonstration, so we're going to have a watch of it and I'm back after this.
Hello, it is Jenny McCreary here. Delighted to be back on Sewing Street from home again in Glasgow. It's roasting today. I've got lights on me here as well, so I'm probably just going to get sweatier and sweatier as the hour goes on. Anyway, let's get started. On that note of it being warm and summery, we are doing a really nice summery project today. It's the kimono, this wee one here. It's got a gorgeous flounce on the bottom. It's dead airy. We've used a viscose fabric, which is nice and light and cool for summer. And it's got a nice wee sleeve cuff as well. So this pattern is fab if you are either new to dressmaking or you want a nice easy project. Sometimes even the most advanced dressmakers just want to sit down and not have to think too much but still have something at the end, and that is exactly what this project is like. So here's the pattern. It's a simplicity pattern and you've got 4 different options on there as well. So there are some options that have got fringing. You don't have to do the flounce either. There's an option that's got a wee tie on there as well. To be honest, if you're short like me, I put this on. So yesterday it was roasting in Glasgow, like wild warm, summer holiday warm. And so I had a bikini on in the back garden and I tried this on when I had a bikini on. It is a dream beach cover up as well because it's actually quite long at the back. It's longer. Yeah, you can see that. It's a bit longer at the back. So it's a fab wee cover up if you're going, even if you're out in the garden, I suppose. Don't know if we'll be going on summer holidays anytime soon, but it's just a good all-rounder. You could also totally wear this on a night out. I know a lot of women are quite self-conscious about their upper arms, so this is the perfect, you know, chuck it on over jeans and a top when you're going to the pub or you're going on a night out or whatever. Really is a cool wee pattern. I think you guys will really like it. And it's always nice when you buy one pattern and you get lots of options, isn't it? Because then that's really the equivalent of buying like 4 patterns, really. Right, fabric wise, let's see what we've got. So, you know how I love viscose. We've got full viscose for this pattern. So we've got some packs. So this is the sample that I've got behind me here. These are both a gorgeous drapey I should have ironed these, really, shouldn't I? Obviously these are cuts. This isn't like the full 2 metre and 1.5 metre piece that you will get in the kit, but because I've cut these up and used it for, so most of this stuff's actually gone. But it's really nice, drapey and cool. This print is just, oh, love it. I totally love this print. I'm just so big on any kind of jungle leafy print, and even like in my house I've got more plants than I did last year, so I think I'm just going through a little bit of a phase. We're all going through a bit of a plant phase, aren't we? Steve looks after them though. I don't look after them. Not intentionally don't look after them, but I just forget about them. So yeah, this is the leafy one. Both of these fabrics are 100% viscose. And then the sample that I'm going to be making today is again another 100% viscose piece. So this is just gorgeous. Look at those lovely colours that are in there. There's like a nice pinky colour, there's a corally orange colour, there's a nice baby blue, there's a turquoise as well. This is really nice, and it matches with this gorgeous sky blue viscose as well. Again, you can see I've already cut bits off this, but yeah, these fabrics are just gorgeous. I love sewing with viscose. It's a really good fabric if you are looking to challenge yourself a little bit because it doesn't behave itself in the same way that, say, a non-stretch cotton would. It moves a little bit more, it kind of skews out of shape a little bit sometimes, but the end result is a really beautiful drapey garment almost every time. Like the trousers that I made the last time, they were out of one of those, was a viscose, I'm sure. Just lovely drapey and nice and cool for summer. So let's get sewing, shall we? The sizes on this pattern go up to, so it says on the front XX, extra small to extra large. So their extra large measurements are bust 48 inches, waist 41.5 inches, and their hip is 50 inches. So that should give you an idea of what the sizes go up to. The smallest size is bust 29.5, waist 22, and hip 31.5, just so you know. Another thing that you need in this pattern, or you don't actually need it because you can make your own, but you can use ready-made bias binding, basically. It says 1 pack of, I used, I probably would have just been under 1 pack. Does it say 1 pack? Hold on. Yes. 1 pack of a 1/2 inch wide, so 2.5 centimetre wide bias binding is perfect. Black will do you for both colourways, so if you're buying both patterns, then just get 2 packets of the black and that will sort you out for both of them. That's the only other thing that you need. The amount of fabric that you need, the kits that we are selling today, they will do you for any size, so you don't even have to worry about working out your size. And there is enough if you wanted to make your own bias binding as well. There's enough scrappy bits that you can cut out your own bias binding if you want to do that too. Right, so first bit of sewing is the pattern doesn't tell you to do this, but I have gone over most of the outside edges with my overlocker. You can use a zigzag as well. Some of the edges I know I don't have to overlock because they will be getting either we're putting bias binding on them or they're getting hemmed and turned up twice, so we don't really need to overlock them. This is my back piece, so I know that my neckline gets bias binding on it, and I know that my hem at the bottom gets stitched onto, oh sorry, it's this way. I did this last time actually. Beware of this. See, because of the shape of this, it's really easy to get mixed up between what is the hem and what is the arm. So the arm is smaller than the hem. It took me about 10 minutes to work out why the pieces weren't fitting together when I did this before. So yeah, don't make that mistake. So the back piece is not cut on fold. To be honest, you probably could cut it on fold if you wanted to. I was just being good and following the rules for once. But you want to, the first thing we're doing is stitching up the back here. So you want these 2 bits to go together. I'm going to pop some pins in there and then I'm going to stitch them. The seam allowance on this pattern is 1.5 centimetres. Our pins over here. There we go. It is really getting warm in here now. I'm glad you can't see it, but I burnt my hand really bad on the kettle the other day and I had 2 really ridiculous, horrible looking blisters on my fingers. It doesn't hurt actually, not now. And I just thought, this is so typical. I knew I was filming today and I knew people were going to be looking at my hands, and I've got these 2 awful big horrible blisters. Anyway, they're all gone and it's all good. Right, stitching this back seam with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, so just a straight stitch. Okay, so I've stitched the back seam. I did not pattern match this fabric, but I think it's busy enough that you're not really going to notice it when you've got it on. I didn't pattern match the green stuff either because sometimes life is too short to pattern match, and yeah, I think this looks alright anyway. Give it a press. to keep that seam nice and flat. I love how viscose presses as well. It just like really behaves itself when you use the iron with it, and presses that seam really nice and flat. Grab your 2 front pieces, and we're going to place these down on top. Grab one at the minute. Right, so let's make sure I've got this the right way. Okay, so with right sides together, we're going to match the shoulder seam here. So there actually are notches in this pattern, but to be honest, it's quite simple. You probably won't even need to use them, but you can use them if you like. So we're stitching that again with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, and then this little curvy underarm as well with your 1.5. So I'm just going to stick some pins in that. So we're going to stitch that one, that seam, and then do exactly the same to the other side. I have been loving sewing summery stuff this year. I think it's because I've had a bit more time at home anyway. I've got a seriously updated DIY wardrobe this year. There's lots in there that I've made. It's very exciting. Another tip if you're struggling at all with this fabric is a little bit of spray starch or that best press and then a wee iron, and it just makes the fabric behave itself a little bit better, makes it easier to handle. So always test it first on a little spare bit just in case it watermarks. You can see my overlocking has pulled in my seam allowance quite a bit there just because the fabric is so light. So I'm trying to kind of take that into account with my seam allowance and just fall short of the 1.5 if I can. And then same on the other side. It's starting to look like a kimono. I really am feeling this fabric. I'm a big fan. Love these colours, they're so nice. Right, I have turned it out, I've pressed it. What you also want to do with this underarm seam, you're going to have to clip the inner seam because it doesn't sit right. You'll realise when you go to iron it on the outside, that it's just really hard to, it just won't sit right. So I've clipped some little snips all the way along on the inside here, and I've snipped in until I'm about 1 millimetre away from the stitching. So let me show you that on the white. There you go, like that. So do that on both of those underarm seams there. And then we are going to put our flounce together. So you can put this to one side and then grab these pieces. This fabric, the coloured fabric does not have a right side and wrong side as far as I can tell, so you don't have to worry about finding the right side and the wrong side. So this big piece is your back piece, and then you've got two smaller pieces that will get stitched onto this bit here and onto this bit here. Let's just find the right side. One of these sides on the side flounce is shorter, so one fits and one doesn't basically. That fits. I'm just going to pin that in place. Does anyone else suffer from absolute sausage fingers when it's warm? Oh my goodness, my hands swell up so much, and my feet swell up as well. I remember on holiday one year, where was I going? I can't remember. It was a long haul flight anyway, and I got off the plane. Well, I went to get off the plane and I could not get my shoes back on. So I'd been on the plane, I took my shoes off just to have a wee snooze and get comfy, and I could not get them back on again because my feet had swollen so much. Normally a size 3 in a shoe, and in summer I'm about a size 6. That's not true. Just have to wear elasticated shoes, just like my lockdown elasticated waistband collection as well, because all I've been doing is eating chocolate. Right, so I've pinned this side, I'm going to jump on my machine, and again with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, I'm going to stitch these two sides and then press them. We reverse at the start. I'm wondering, I'm not going to change my thread. I was going to change my thread to light blue, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it. One side done. This is a very satisfying make, this one. It's quite a quick one. It's nice, I suppose, if you don't really know, sometimes the weather in this country, you don't really know if you should wear a cardigan or bring a wee jumper with you, and this is a perfect wee lightweight number that you can put over a top, and it will save you carrying a cardigan about. So then give this a press these open. Okay, so I've stitched and pressed my flounce here, and now I'm going to attach it to my main jacket piece. Okay, so I'm going to put this right sides up, but with the hem, this is my bottom hem here. So the neck's there, my wee sleeves are over here and here, here and here. And then with right sides together, we're going to find the centre of the back flounce. Now there was 2 notches there, I can still see them even though I've overlocked it. There's 2 notches here that match to 2 notches either side of the centre piece, or you can just find the centre of this and match it to your centre seam on here. So making sure that these are definitely right sides together. The only way I can tell on this fabric is by looking at where my seams are, because obviously it doesn't have a right side and a wrong side. I'm just going to pin this all the way around. And matching those side seams as well. So I've got a seam here, got a seam here. They need to match up, and open these seams. Sometimes have to pull these a little bit just to make them fit, but there shouldn't be too much extra anywhere. These should fit together fairly simply. Now my front piece here, here we go. You can see how quickly this is a kind of afternoon project. It's so simple. Here we go. I think this piece it's one of those ones that it's never really going to go out of fashion, is it? A wee kimono top like this. And if, like me, you've still got your fingers crossed for a summer holiday this year, if it doesn't happen, you're still going to be able to wear this next year, or the next time you go on holiday, or the next time you go on a holiday in the UK even, where it's nice and warm. I've just got beach cover up in my head, even though that's actually not what this top is. It's not designed to be a cover up top. It is a outerwear type, fancy, nice wee kimono top. You can wear it to the pub. Out for a nice lunch, you could wear it. Okay. Pin this. Again, 1.5 centimetres, I'm going to stitch it all the way around. This is coming together so quickly, I'm loving it. This is my kind of sewing project. Just got a wee afternoon where you can do some sewing. I would definitely be up for, there's one of the options in the pattern has like a fringy bit on the bottom. It looks amazing as well. That would be my second choice, I think, after this one. Big fan of fringing, or pom-poms, or some kind of nice wee trim. I would love to see what you guys have been sewing. If you've had a bit of extra time, if you've been furloughed perhaps, I would love to see what your summer wardrobes, your DIY summer wardrobes are looking like. You can send them to Sewing Street, obviously, and I will request that they are forwarded on to me. Or you can get me on Instagram, So Confident, or at So Confident Jenny. You'll be able to see some of my summer wardrobe on there as well. This is one of them. This linen I dyed myself. Have I dyed fabric before? Probably it's been uni, I think was the last time I dyed fabric. Which was a long time ago. Anyway, I just used one of those nice wee machine dyes and it worked a wee treat. Big fan of linen. It creases awful bad, but I feel like it's socially acceptable to be out in creased linen. Like, I did iron this and now it's kind of creased again. Part of the charm, I'd say. Linen's another good fabric for this weather, eh? Nice and cool. Although I'm not very cool right now with all the lights, and I had to shut the window because there's just people being noisy outside. With lawnmowers, etc. We're nearly done. And then all we have to do after this is the cuffs, the bias binding around the neckline and around the front, and then the hem, and that's it. Let's have a look. This looks great. I love it. So there's the bottom. I'm not going to put it on because I don't think my sleeves will fit in, but this is looking good. Big fan. This colourway. Right. Grab your cuff pieces and we will do your cuffs now. Right, onto the cuffs now. I've done one here so you can see how fab it looks. It really ties in the contrast flounce, I think. I think it just looks fab and it's really easy to do as well, so that's good. Right, pop that to one side for now. Grab this and right sides together if you had a right side. Folding it lengthways and then we're going to stitch along here, stitching this wee bit. Again, 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. And then, when I made the sample actually, I opened this seam. Doesn't seem to make any difference and it was fiddly opening it, so I'm just going to push it to one side this time. And I'm going to fold this now, wrong sides together. Like that, to make a wee cuff. So I've got a folded edge here and I've got both my raw edges at this side here. If you want, you can baste this together. I'm not going to. This fabric's not too bad. It should behave itself enough for us to attach it to this main sleeve part. So here's my sleeve. This is my underarm part here. That's the top. Now, this piece has a seam and I want that seam to go to the bottom. So I'm just going to put this cuff over the top of this entire piece like that. so that fabric's coming through, and then I'm going to match my raw edges and my under arm seam here. So grab some pins. I'm actually going to put my pins on the inside here because of the way I'm going to sew it in a minute. So pin there, then pin over the other side. Just making sure that all those layers of fabric are staying together. That. Oh, what did I say? Honestly, inside. There we go. And then same again on these sidey bits here. Should be no stretching involved. This should fit perfectly. Just match those edges up. There we go. And then 1.5 centimetre seam allowance again, stitching all the way around that part, and then you can also zigzag or overlock that raw edge afterwards as well, just to get rid of any bits that are going to fray. Got my cuff here. It's quite a small cuff, so just in case you can't fit it over the arm of the machine, one way you can do it is you can take that off, you can have your fabric running underneath the machine. Another way you can do it is you can just pop it into the machine like that, keeping the top bit of the fabric here so you can see it and you're not going to completely stitch the armhole shut, which I've definitely done before. And then 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, and we're going all the way around, making sure that these edges all stay together. Again, I'm just pushing my seam allowance in the inside flat as well. It's just a bit easier. And then zigzag or overlock this raw edge. Okay, so the cuffs are on. They're looking fabulous. And the next thing we need to do is just look after this raw edge we've got on the front that runs up and along this neckline as well. We're going to use bias binding on this. Got some here, 2.5 centimetres wide ideally, it's easiest to work with, and I will show you how to put these on. You won't see this bias binding, it'll be on the inside, so don't worry too much about the fact that you might have a black bias binding on the inside of this light blue bit. If it really annoys you, you could probably do, I would just stick to black. I was going to say you could do 2 different bias bindings, don't bother, it's too much work. You won't see it, it'll be on the inside. So let me show you how to put the bias binding in. So this is my hem at the bottom here, and I'm going to start with the right side of my bias binding to the right side of my fabric. And what I've done as well is I've opened that bias binding out, just the one side there. So the raw edge of my bias binding is going to go against the raw edge of my front piece here. Now you can pin this if you want. To be honest, I've got enough faith in you that you don't have to pin it and you can just roll with it. You want to be stitching in this little crease here. I'll show you a little bit of a closer shot when I'm on the sewing machine, but that's what you want to be doing and stitching all the way around. and then it gets folded over, and then it gets folded away in like that, so you won't see it. So right side of my top, right side of my bias binding, they go together. Open up that wee edge of your bias binding, put the raw edges together, and then we're stitching. So this is a closer up version. Here is my bias binding. I'm opening it out. This is the right side of my top, and I'm going to stitch in this crease here. So the reason you don't really need pins is they just get in the way here. So you're just adjusting, keeping those raw edges together and keeping an eye on stitching in this crease. I wouldn't cut your bias binding to size or anything, just leave it as is and we'll cut it at the end. I've tucked my seam allowance down the way towards the hem. That's the way I want it to sit. Just keep going. So this is a little bit time consuming because this bit is longer than you think. And obviously you can see I've got navy blue bias binding here. I thought I had black and I don't, but use black. Because it's on the inside, it doesn't really matter too much, but I would definitely recommend just buying bias binding. If bias binding is going to be seen on the outside, then I'll make it myself. If it's going on the inside, then unfortunately life is too short to be making that myself. If you have the time, of course, then absolutely. It's quite satisfying making your own bias binding, I won't lie. But it's very time consuming. That's my shoulder seam. You can either open it or push it. I've just pushed it to the front to get it out of the way. This fabric is so fine that actually you're not going to have bulky seams anyway. Now the back seam here, keep that open. Now obviously the joy of bias binding is that it is cut on the bias, so it has a bit of stretch and it will go round corners nicely. That's what we want when we're doing something like this, which is a curvy neckline. So, I mean, exciting things that I've been up to. What have I been up to recently? We've launched online classes, so that's new for us. Before lockdown, we did not have online classes, so that's been a nice addition. And I've just been doing a lot more kind of social media stuff. Loads more photos of sewing related things. I've been doing little tutorial videos on different things based on requests from people like yourself. So if there is anything that you really want to know how to do, let us know. If it's a pattern, let us know. Maybe I could do it on Sewing Street. Something that you've maybe struggling with, or something that you've seen other people make and you're not sure if you'd be able to do it and you want a bit of a hand, definitely let us know. I'm loving Instagram at the moment because it's just full of people who've got extra time at the moment and they're just sewing lots of cool stuff, so many cool fabrics and patterns. It's a bit of a dream, actually. A wee scroll through Instagram and Facebook. Okay, coming to the end here. I'm just going to cut that, give myself a little bit extra. And then sew right to the bottom. Okay. Then, so this is the bit I just finished. I'm going to fold it over. And then I'm going to fold it again. Like that. Now what I want to see a tiny bit of the blue on this side here, because that means I'm not going to see any of the dark blue on the outside. Again, I wouldn't pin this, I would just go for it, because it'll take you ages to pin it. Now here I have to decide, am I going to change my thread? Yes, I am. Fold in half and then folding over again so I can see a little bit of the blue at this side here, the light blue. And then I'm going to stitch over on this side here. And I'll just keep turning as I go. There we go. If you're doing this at home, this might be the point where you go and get yourself a nice wee cup of tea, get your concentration back, so you don't go too squiggly. Towards the end of the pattern is when I start being like a bit hash bash, because I'm like, let's get this finished, I'm so excited to wear it. Just keep going. Now, I am aware that I've got light blue on the black now, but I think that looks okay because there is light blue in the bird pattern, so it'll be fine. I think the black thread on the baby blue fabric would have looked pretty rotten, if I'm honest, so... Of course you could have changed halfway and changed back to black if you wanted to. I love bias binding. It just covers a multitude. Covers all your raw edges, makes everything nice and neat. You could even bias bind the hem if you wanted, actually, that is an option. So I don't want any tucks in this, so just might have to give this a wee pull at this point, round the neck. Yep, that's fine. And then the same here, just being careful we don't have any tucks. And then we're on the home straight once you're past that neckline. Nearly done. Last wee bit here. Done. Look at this. All that needs done now is the hem, which is super easy. Along that bottom bit, give it a wee press as well. And we have ourselves a gorgeous kimono with this flounce at the bottom. Totally love it. Great for summer. Everyone should have one of these in their wardrobe. Love both these colourways. Thanks for watching. It's been nice to spend some more time with you. I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea probably, have a wee chill out, and definitely finish this and then try it on and put some photos on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, you can follow me, So Confident or at So Confident Jenny. Look forward to seeing you next time. Happy sewing, guys. Bye.
Thank you, gorgeous Jenny. We miss you. We love you loads. And we love the kimono. Absolutely love it. Jenny's such an amazing teacher. So hopefully everybody's going to have a go at making one of the kimonos. The pattern on its own. Remember, as Jenny explained, you could have got such a great variety of sizes. It says XSS to XXL, which actually it says in European sizes is size 4 to size 26. So you've got a great range of sizes on here. It is absolutely beautiful. Whether you're sort of dressing it up or dressing it down, I think it's something that you could either wear as a bit of a around the house sort of kimono style dressing gown, like a posh dressing gown, or it could be something over the top of a cami top and jeans, and it's ever so flattering. Where you've got the cut of the different fabrics, it actually just sort of really accentuates your waist. It shows off all of the right places. It's beautiful. So that's your pattern. It's £9.99 on its own. We do also have the pattern available in bundles, which are underneath us on the website, where you get enough in the bundles to be able to make the largest size of the pattern for all of the kimono, including the binding. So you can do them all. Now, if we've got the fabrics on their own as well, if you do want to do it just solely with the fabric. So 3.5 meters of fabric is what you'll need for the biggest size, which is a size 26. And that will be all in one colour. That will be all in one colour. This one is gorgeous. It's 140 wide. It's 98% viscose, and it's got a 2% spandex, so a tiny little bit of stretch. It's £7.99 a half metre, which is beautiful. It's so exotic, isn't it? I can imagine this. If anybody's holidays have been postponed, why not make yourself a kimono to wear when you can finally go on your holidays? It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. A bit jungly theme. I love that. Also, the bird one that you saw Jenny wearing as well is this one, and we're thinking even if you're just trying out your overlocker and getting lots of scarves out of 1/2 metre, it is so flowy and so beautiful. Well, look, I mean, we've got the air conditioning on and it just falls so beautifully, especially with that float. It's gorgeous. So that's your bird fabric, $7.99 half metre. Again, super duper soft, 100% viscose. We also have the leaves. I think this was my favourite, you know. I'd love a maxi dress. Hannah wants a jumpsuit. We could all have different ones all matching though, couldn't we? I have a maxi, you have a jumpsuit, and Kat can have a joggers or a harem pants with these. And scarves, again, these will be beautiful. Oh yeah, you'd have to do it as a co-ord. I know that Kat likes her little crop top ones, doesn't she? Just £7.99. Again, it is your leaf viscose, half a metre for just £7.99. If you want to make the largest size of the pattern, which is a size 26, you will need 3.5 metres. Definitely worth making the most of these. Now, the menu for tomorrow, I don't know whether you've noticed, but surrounding me, we've got lots of loveliness because we've got gorgeous Kerry going to be joining me tomorrow live in the studio. Kerry is going to be talking about the Katie cushion at 8 o'clock. We've got sewing room tools at 9. Kerry's going to be sticking around virtually all morning as she'll be joining us with the Maya wall hanging, which is behind me, a great organiser for our workroom. At 11 o'clock, me too. At 11 o'clock, we've got Liberty fabric. After all of Kerry's, I think we're going to be in the mood for some Liberty coming up at 11, and then there will be a repeat of today's show at 12. Just a quick reminder before we leave you, we've got literally a couple of these left. If you're watching on a replay, it's definitely worth making the most of the stitch remover. If you are making any mistakes, as we all do, or if you're doing a bargello and you do need to remove your stitches, it's super duper popular, rechargeable, and it will take away all your stitches ever so quickly, so much quicker than using a quick and pick. So we love that. Absolutely loved it. Very, very popular. Plus, machine deal. Very, 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 very popular as well. I'll talk about it again probably tomorrow if we're allowed to do it. But have a serious think about it. Don't wait too long as I don't know how long we can offer the deal for. Make the most of it. It's been a pleasure this morning. Thank you ever so much to gorgeous Jenny as well. Loved that demo. And I'm back with you with Kerry tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. See you then.